Welcome, friends, it's the Movie Film Podcast. The Movie Film Podcast, enjoy the show. Zachy and Brian are talking about movies. Movie Film Podcast on the radio.
Welcome to a movie film commentary track. My name is Zachy Hassan, and I'm here with my partner in crime, the Little John to my Robin Hood, or the Robin Hood to my Azim.
Ah, yes, sure.
Brian Hall is here. Hey, Brian.
Hey, I was trying to come up with some sort of like merry old English response, and I was like, oh man, I can't think of anything. It's my turn. Hi.
Well, you know, I think the mere fact that we are here doing this commentary track is a testament to something, and I don't know what it is a testament to.
We mentioned it, I think, not in jest, but sort of speculative. Not sure we would ever do it, and I think I'm going to dedicate this to my friend Sharon, who listens to the show, and when we mentioned possibly doing this, she actually reached out and said, do it. This is one of her favorite movies. So, I mean, we'll get into it, but I got to say, I enjoyed revisiting this. So this will be a fun discussion.
While we are dedicating, I'll drop a name of Tom McClellan, our listener, who lives in merry old England and who has persistently and passionately said that we simply must do a movie film track for Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. And I thought, there is a new Robin Hood in theaters now. Yep. Because as surely as night follows day, every couple weeks feels like there is a new version of Robin Hood that is due.
Yeah.
I feel like if you live long enough, there will be enough versions of Robin Hood for every year of your life, like the rings of a tree trunk.
Yeah. There are a few. We'll get into it, I'm sure, and maybe you can get into the latest one a little bit too.
While we talk, I have a feeling we'll bring up some of that. Yeah, and I, to some extent, this is our Robin Hood.
I completely agree. Yeah, I never would have counted this as one of those movies that I can recite. But as I was watching it, I haven't watched this in at least 15, maybe 20 years.
Wow.
I couldn't believe this is one of those movies where I was like, oh, I know every inflection of this movie. I didn't realize it was up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely.
So we are watching Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. This is from 1991, directed by Kevin Reynolds, starring the one, the only, the very miscast Kevin Costner.
Yes, but also maybe not.
Maybe not.
I mean, maybe this is what 1991 wanted. We'll get in the box office, because I was like, holy crap.
So this is the theatrical edition. There is an extended cut that is about 10 minutes longer, but honestly, y'all, it's late, and we prefer to watch the shorter one. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. So and this is the one that's on Netflix. So,
and this is the one that's available on Netflix for now. So we'll see how well that comment ages. But we are queued up and ready to go. So again, this is the theatrical edition of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. If you want to watch along with us, feel free. We will play after 3. And if you don't want to watch along with us, well, as usual, just feel free to put this on in the car while you drive, while you're robbing from the rich and giving to the poor. This is a good supplement for that. While you're doing that, so I'm ready. You ready, Brian?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. On 3. 1, 2, 3, play.
And speaking of people listening to this on their drives, welcome to part 1 of probably what's going to be 5 or 6 drives for you. This movie is long.
It is extremely long. Yeah, I have to admit, I've seen this movie a fair amount of times, but I didn't realize when you and I sort of committed to this track that, like, I looked at the time code and I was like, oh.
I mean, yes, it's not terrible. Actually, it's like, I think we give a lot of crap to movies now because we're like, what's with all these action movies being 2 hours, 20 minutes? And this one's 2 hours, 20 minutes. So this one was setting the trend.
Yeah, well, and this came out summer of 1991. And for me, it sort of inextricably linked in my memory of that era with Terminator 2.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, very much so. I remember, I have very specific memories of seeing this in the theater.
See, I did not have that opportunity. I was living in Saudi Arabia at the time, so I had to wait till we got back, and I got my bootleg VHS, which is how we did things back in the day. And actually, we're talking over this gorgeous Michael Kamen score. Probably one of the best scores he ever wrote. The late Michael Kamen.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up at some point, but I remember this theme note for note to my surprise.
Yeah.
And it is gorgeous. Like the many themes in this, the love theme, that is really the Everything I Do, the Bryan Adams song. It's a really, really great score.
That song, you could not escape it in the early part of the 90s.
Oh, that was huge. I think I actually had that CD single.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. But I saw, so he sang that for this, and it went on to be the best single of his career. And it was on the U.S. Billboard chart for 14 weeks.
Wow.
And record-breaking 16 weeks in the U.K.
That's extraordinary.
And I thought that was kind of interesting, too, because I didn't bring this up last time, but for our Rocky IV commentary, the James Brown song, Living in America, that was his last chart-topping hit of his career, was for Rocky IV.
No kidding.
America. And here we go. This movie now giving Bryan Adams the biggest single of his career.
Well, and the music, the Robin Hood theme that Michael Kamen wrote, I mean, you still hear it, I think, in front of, like, Disney movies, right?
Disney, was it like on their DVDs or something?
Was that what it was? Yeah, but it's definitely one of these things, like, my kids knew that music before they even saw this movie.
Yeah, and then Morgan Creek, right?
Yes.
The production company, that was I can picture it, right? Like the sort of sliver that turns into a river.
Yes. That's right. So different pieces of Kamen's Robin Hood score have ended up in different places.
Yeah. And Michael Kamen, did we say already? Like, I mean, he did like Die Hard and
Lethal Weapon.
Big Lethal Weapon. Yeah,
he was the quintessential 1980s action movie score guy.
Yeah, this felt of a time in a good way to me. I mean, a time that I really like.
By the way, Brian, let's pause to appreciate this summer family entertainment that starts literally in minute 1 with a behanding.
I was 11 when I saw this, and I'll never forget this. I went with my friend's family. They're like, we're going to go to dinner, and then we'll go watch Robin Hood. So I remember seeing this. And my parents were fairly conservative with my viewing habits when I was young. Mm-hmm. And so when this movie started and these hands are getting chopped off, I remember as like a little boy being like, ah! What is this movie?
What is happening?
Why did you take me here? It's pretty intense.
It is. And I'm curious because, the notion of Robin Hood going off and fighting in the Crusades and then coming back, like, I can't remember. I mean, did it predate this movie?
Man, I don't know. This is one of those things like, King Arthur legend where it's been reinterpreted so many times that I don't know what's actually part of the, original legend.
And I mean, even the Moorish character here played by Morgan Freeman, Azim, I initially thought, oh wow, this is an innovation of this film, but actually the idea of Robin Hood having a Muslim character who's like part of his band, that actually started with a TV show on the BBC that ran from like 84 to 86 called Robin of Sherwood.
Right.
And actually that show, like a lot of stuff that show introduced, ended up being prevalent not only in this but in various other tellings. So it's weird how these things do just kind of like you pick up little barnacles that carry from one version to the next.
Yeah, well, things find nice ways of complementing something that was already there, and then they feel like they never weren't there.
Yeah. Now, conceptually, it's interesting, right? Because we talk about what a big movie this was in terms of the hype machine. I mean, the merch was everywhere, right? Summer of '91.
Yeah, I remember the action figures. You've talked about this before, but I mean, it's a funny tidbit, right? About the Sherwood Forest playset.
Sherwood Forest was like the Ewok village.
Yeah, all the ones I guess they had still in some warehouse somewhere and had sold.
Because it was Kenner did the toys, yeah, and the packaging. I still remember the packaging very distinctly because
me too.
They were like those old Star Wars toys where you had a big picture from the film of the character, right? And even the bodies, like Friar Tuck's body was like a Gamorrean guard. Seems appropriate, I guess.
If I was that actor, I'd be like, hey.
Yeah, but the designers are like, hey, we got any fat guys in the... You picture like
a sarcastic guy from
a Hank Azaria voice.
Yeah. Hey, you got any fat guys? Yeah.
But, I mean, the merch, there was cereal, there was a video game, and it occurs to me now, I'm like, That's so weird. Like there was like Robin Hood shit everywhere.
But you know what? Now it seems kind of weird, and maybe
Yes.
because we're oversaturated with everything.
Yes.
But I mean, this movie was huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of made sense.
But
right?
it's when you contrast it with, this was like one of the biggest movies of that year, of 1991, biggest hits.
Yeah,
And then
number
you can-
2 behind Terminator 2.
right behind T2. And meanwhile, now as we speak, there is a Robin Hood in theaters that is legitimately one of the biggest flops of the year.
Yes.
And so that's sort of interesting to me, where, you know, because we look at this new one flopping and we're like, well, that's entirely predictable. But then you say, why did this one do so well? Like, what was it about this? You know, and you say kind of like, well, there hadn't been a Robin Hood. Like, there hadn't been a serious take on Robin Hood. Not that I can think of other than that BBC show that I was telling you about.
Yeah, or maybe even just modern. Like, whatever for its era.
Yeah.
I mean, they just hadn't had this story yet.
And it's funny because Penn Densham, who wrote it, he said he came up with the idea. His log line, if you will, was Robin Hood a la Raiders.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
I get that.
Yeah, I can see a little bit of that. I mean, definitely the idea of like a big spectacle kind of big 4-quadrant kind of action movie.
Yes, yes, that's a good way of putting it.
And it definitely was that, notwithstanding the torture scene in the very beginning.
Yeah, yeah. And we've touched upon this, but I mean, there just wasn't as much stuff in 1991. You know what I mean? Like, this was the adventure film, for a while. And then there would be another one, but we weren't, inundated with so much stuff.
Right? That's the problem is kids these days, they don't understand how lucky they got it,
Yeah, but I mean, I really do think that plays into why this was such a cultural touchstone.
It was, yeah. I thought you were going to say cult hit, and I was like, well, this far transcended being a cult hit.
No, well, actually, I have it pulled up, so I'll say it. But the production budget was $48 million.
Okay,
nice little
which is substantial for 1991.
Yes, Terminator 2 cost $100 million, and that was
like the first
unthinkable. The domestic total gross was $165 million.
Amazing.
When adjusted for inflation, it gets much, much higher. $359 million.
That's amazing.
So imagine a movie today making $359 million domestic.
Just
alone.
domestic.
Yeah.
That truly is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
This here is Brian Blessed, by the way, as Lord Loxley.
I love this medieval painting of Kevin Costner on the wall there. It's like with sort of the bowl haircut. Okay. So let's talk about this real fast. We're not gonna dog on Kevin Costner here, but a big thing that people think about with this movie is his poor British accent or lack of British accent, depending on which point of the movie you're in.
It's a fluid British accent, let's say.
It's a fluid British accent. So I thought maybe we'd have sort of like a Kevin Costner accent tracker.
Ding!
Yeah, he starts the movie doing this interesting sort of thing where he has just a slight lilt to his voice, and he says things without contractions. So it just sounds a little more proper, more like proper English, but that's his English accent. And then, we'll pop back in. I noticed a couple markers throughout the film as it shifts.
That's hilarious. It's again, this is one of those pieces of cultural context that today is very hard to recognize. But 1991, if ever there was a moment, that was peak Costner.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean,
right after Field of Dreams. And this shot, by the way, of Alan Rickman on the horse when he takes the mask off. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was from the trailer or if it was from the music video. When I saw this, rewatching it recently, I was like, oh, yeah. Like, I remember all the key shots in this film. Yeah.
Brian Blessed, by the way, who plays Robin's father, he is the actor who voiced Boss Nass in episode 1.
Stop. I wish I had known that.
Yeah.
When I was watching it with the sound on.
He's also, I don't know if you've seen Flash Gordon, the old 80s Flash Gordon movie.
I never have.
He's the Hawkman, the leader of the Hawkmen.
At some point, I'm sure I'll see that.
He's got this voice that's like so distinctive. I mean, notwithstanding the weird Boss Nass thing, but like when he's just like talking.
Yeah. And it's Alan Rickman is obviously a pivotal part of this movie, and this is what, 2 years? So when he was filming this, it was probably 2 years since Die Hard had come out. So
Yeah,
and that
it's
was his
basically
feature
like
film
his-
debut. So
That was his first, so this is like his second movie, basically.
yeah,
Second big movie, certainly.
yeah,
And he just straight up didn't want to do this, by the way.
yeah. He thought it was bad, right? But then he had a couple of friends
Yeah.
punch up his character, which the director was aware of this apparently, but they didn't tell anyone else, and that's why his part is, I guess, so memorable, right? It's pretty cheeky.
It's incredibly memorable. He has the majority of the best lines, and it's for the majority of the film, he's just off in his own movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So, I mean, Costner and Morgan Freeman are in Batman 89, and Rickman is in Batman 66.
That is, yes. But you know what? It kind of, maybe because I'm used to it, but I was like, yeah, this kind of gels.
I think for the most part, it was very funny rewatching it now, where it really struck me how he really is just off on his own for so much of the movie.
Yeah. I'd kind of forgotten about the witch character, too.
The witch is fascinating to me because the movie is, for the most part, quote unquote, real.
Yes.
And then you've got this witch.
Yeah, it's like a third vibe that's introduced into the movie. Yeah, it's at first I found it kind of jarring, and then I was like, oh yeah, I guess I kind of remember this.
Well, and now we're watching the theatrical cut, but there's elements about her character that are further elucidated in the extended cut, which I guess we can mention when we get there. But
yeah,
not for the better necessarily, but
yeah. This is kind of interesting too here. So he's back in England, right?
Yeah.
And so Kevin Costner is rolling around, kissing the sand. And I always think about this when I watch movies. I'm like, that must have been freezing. Right?
Yeah, really.
Like, it's easy to watch on a screen, but like this actor in his clothes in the cold ocean water.
It's interesting too when you look at the development process. This came out at a time when there were like 3 Robin Hood projects in development.
Oh, interesting.
This is the one that ended up getting made, but there was another one, I believe it was at Fox, and they wanted Costner.
Oh,
John
I
McTiernan.
kind of remember that.
John McTiernan was attached to direct that.
Oh, wow.
They wanted Costner, and this is Costner coming off of Dances with Wolves, right?
Oh, that's right. That was 90, yeah.
So peak Costner. And so he wanted, work done on the script, and they didn't want to deal with that. So that ended up not happening. What with this version, it's Morgan Creek, which is like an indie company basically, right? They sold it to Warner Brothers, but it wasn't from Warner Brothers originally. But they had the pitch. They wanted Costner, and they got Costner by hiring Kevin Reynolds to direct.
Right. And they had been buds. Like, they made some movie in the middle 80s, right?
Yeah, Fandango.
Yes. Did you read about it?
I have not, no.
It was one of Kevin Reynolds wrote Red Dawn, right?
Yes.
So I think he started sort of as a writer, but then one of his first movies was this movie called Fandango. It was one of the first Amblin movies to come out.
No kidding.
And when you look up the synopsis, it sounds about right. It's about like 5 kids, like one last event. Some are going to go off to Vietnam, something like that. And apparently Spielberg was so disappointed in it, he took his name off of it.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. But then, so what was that? Like, that was about 85, I think. And
Okay.
so this movie, Reynolds was making in 90.
But, I mean, Fandango did pretty well.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, because, it made almost $100 million against a $4 million budget.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd never even heard of it till I was doing the research.
Yeah, that's.
I'm aware of the service, and I appreciate their help in getting me movie tickets. But
yeah, go figure. But Fandango put Kevin Costner on the map, and so I guess he formed enough of an attachment with Kevin Reynolds that's why he agreed to do the movie. But they had a falling out making this movie.
Oh, it was this, huh? Because they went on to make a couple more.
They made this together, and they had a falling out, and then they worked it out, and they made Waterworld together, and they had another falling out, and then again, if I'm not mistaken, Kevin Reynolds also directed Hatfields and McCoys. Yes, he did.
Wow! Okay.
So these two just can't quit each other.
Yeah.
Right?
Apparently something works there. They just gotta.
What's interesting is that Kevin Reynolds has not directed a substantial amount of movies. But I think the ones he's done, many of the ones he's done are fairly distinctive.
Yeah, distinctive, pretty solid work.
Solid, yeah. I mean, he's not showy, but he's kind of a dependable journeyman.
Exactly, a dependable,
right?
Yeah.
At Waterworld, I don't think Waterworld is the Magnificent Ambersons or anything like that.
Yeah, but what is?
But it's fine. It certainly is not worthy of all the shit that has gotten shoveled its way.
Yeah, I need to revisit that at some point. It's
Next commentary, Brian.
Oh man,
you said it.
I'm pretty familiar with the ride at Universal Studios, which is still there.
Still there. I think you mentioned before how the Waterworld ride, like kids watching today probably have no idea about any of it.
Yeah, it must seem like some generic concept that they're like, we'll just attach stunts to this weird idea. The world's flooded. We have a tank. We got to use it.
That's hilarious. But no, Kevin Reynolds also did, in 2002, he did The Count of Monte Cristo.
Right.
Which is just a darn good old-timey adventure movie.
Yeah.
Doesn't get talked about nearly enough.
No. Actually, I want to call it, by the way, too, here. We got, this is Michael Wincott.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah, playing the cousin of the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Michael Wincott playing Michael Wincott. He's playing the Michael Wincott character.
I was just going to say, because, I mean, for me, when I saw him, I was like, oh, that's the guy from The Crow. He's a very, 90s sleazeball.
Yeah, he's also in The Count of Monte Cristo, by the way.
Oh, is he really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he's in The Three Musketeers.
I never saw that, which I think they wanted to be this, didn't they? They had another Bryan Adams song.
That time they were like, "Hey, we got Bryan Adams. Let's double it up or triple it up because it's a song with Bryan Adams, Sting, and Rod Stewart."
Yeah, that's right.
It's called All for One or something,
Yeah, I can hear it in my head now. This is weird, by the way. So. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying. I mean, that's the measure of how successful this movie was. In that, for the better part of the '90s, you had this whole string of these sort of modernized medieval type stories that were really doing the Robin Hood template. I'd even go so far as to say Braveheart owes a lot to this movie.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
And Mel Gibson, by the way, was who they went to first before Kevin Costner.
Which I can imagine.
I was about to say, you can totally picture that version of this movie.
Yeah.
I
was just going to point out when Robin was fighting these guys here, these soldiers, there's a shot where he throws a crossbow at a guy's face and it hits him in the nose, but it has that sort of weird Indiana Jones with the cobra thing where there's a reflection, and I wondered why there was glass there.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because the camera was so close and they didn't want anything bouncing back. Or
that would make sense.
Yeah. Then leave me to be butchered. So just slightly different, He's going for it here in the first third of this movie.
Costner is.
Costner.
Yeah.
Costner accent watch.
Costner accent watch. Hashtag Costner accent watch. We haven't mentioned at all my favorite character in this movie. You got to realize that when I was growing up, we didn't call this movie Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. We called it Azim, King of Badasses. We called it Azim, guy who teaches Robin Hood what's up.
That would be funny if actually around the world it was you pick the person they can most relate to or identify with.
It's like in the movie Dragon where when they go to Bruce Lee, they're like, yeah, in Hong Kong we call Green Hornet Kato,
Yeah, right.
No, but I mean, for me, being a Muslim kid growing up in Saudi Arabia, I was used to seeing Muslim characters being the guy who Chuck Norris shoots a rocket at.
Uh-huh.
So here you have the Muslim guy who's smart and sophisticated and he is loyal and he's the good guy.
Yep.
It blew my mind. I can't overstate how important that character was to me as a kid.
Yeah, and I mean, coming from where I was coming from, I didn't think of it that way. I just accepted him as this cool character. So I think that's awesome that he was up there for a lot of kids to identify with and look up to. I still think about that. that Star Trek character that your son saw with the last name that he like recognized, and how much that meant to him. And I was like, wow, like I don't know. I've thought about that ever since you said that.
Really?
So it's
So for those of you listening, Brian's referring to there's a character on Deep Space Nine whose name is Julian Bashir. And he's played by the actor Alexander Siddig, who's from Kingdom of Heaven, and he's been on 24, etc. And so when I told my kids, I was like, "Yeah, that's Dr. Bashir." And my second, who was like 8 at the time, he's like, "That's his name. That's his name on the show." Because same thing, like, hey, that's somebody like us,
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, this notion of representation mattering, it's not something new. It's something that's very deeply embedded and very personal in my life. I can absolutely attest to.
Yeah, and something that I like about this movie also is that I was surprised how many times it took a moment to stop and spend a moment with a character that could have easily been cut.
Yes.
And I think it spends a lot of time of people misjudging each other, and then coming to see that they have more common ground than they realized. And I found it all pretty touching, actually, and beneficial to the movie and why it feels so.
I agree. I mean, certainly the character of Azim, he gets a nice little arc in the film that nicely situates us on his side and gives him moments that really add value to the whole experience, and just by way of contrast, by the way, that moment that we just had with like Brian Blessed's decaying corpse, I remember it creeped me out when I was a kid.
Oh yeah,
right? And then we get, again, this is like family entertainment. I watched this with the boys a couple nights ago, and I realized, I was like, this movie is kind of messed up.
Yeah,
He's got his eyes cut out and stuff,
Yeah, and then in the third act, too, I was a little surprised by how intense some of it gets.
We'll get there.
Yeah, but this was a factoid I saw. You might have seen this, too, but the retired former head of the British Board of Film Classification, his name's James Furman, he said that passing this movie with a PG was his only regret over his entire time in office.
Oh, my God.
It's just funny enough that it stood out enough to him to remember that. And be like,
it's like, but sir, you gave Caligula a G. It's like, yes, but Robin Hood.
yeah.
As he shakes
the guy's eyes. It's so gross.
It's so gross. But I mentioned how it's almost become just part of the myth now that you have to have this Arab character. The new film that's in theaters right now, which stars Taron Egerton as Robin Hood, that has Jamie Foxx in sort of the Azim role.
Oh, interesting.
And I think the difference in that film, and I'm not going to spend too much time talking about that movie, but he plays a character named Yahya, which if you translate that, it's John. So he is, by implication, he is sort of Little John.
Right, okay.
But it's the same idea, Robin Hood. That movie, Brian, I was going to force you to go watch it.
Really?
But I was like, no, I'm forcing you to watch this. I feel like I can only cash in so many Robin Hood chits with you.
Well, this was the one to do because I enjoyed this. And by the way, when he is it Duncan? His
yes,
the old man here with his eyes had been
the manservant.
Yeah, so this also made me realize I had forgotten how much I remembered Robin Hood Men in Tights.
That's right.
I was like, oh man, of course. I mean, it was just a couple of years after this, so it was a pretty direct nod to this movie. By the way, what is the deal with people making blood oaths with themselves, slicing their palms with knives?
It's so funny that you say that because my kid just the other day brought up that specific thing, and he's like, "Is that something people do?" And I'm like, "Please do not ever do that."
I will defeat Spider-Man on PS4, right. Come hell or high water. No, but this is the first movie I remember seeing that and going. I remember wincing at it, and it's something I feel like it gets. You see it every now and then.
Yeah.
But why the hell would you do that to yourself? Because anytime you got to use your bow and arrow, now you got this scab there.
Yeah, right. You gotta let it heal. It's very funny to look at Rickman in this because he looks like Steven Tyler or something. He looks like a glam rocker.
He does. Yeah, he does.
Right, and then this whole, I mean, everything about this witch character is so just bonkers. It's out of left field because the movie is, again, it has its feet in reality somewhat.
Yes. Yeah. It almost feels like drafts merged a little bit.
Yeah, but then you think about Penn Densham and his whole idea of Robin Hood a la Raiders, and it's like, well, Raiders has this little bit of fantasy layered in, right?
That's true.
So you can say,
I didn't even think about that. You're right. Maybe he wanted to have a little bit of, interesting.
But the character. I mean, I ended up like for a lot of the stuff, I was like fast forwarding it through it when I was watching it with the kids because I was like, ugh. It's so nasty.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
It's a bit much. It's funny, we were talking about Men in Tights, and like that came out 2 years after this.
Only 2 years?
Yeah. So
wow.
it was a just a
direct response.
Direct response, exactly. So much so that Cary Elwes was one of the people who was offered the part of Robin Hood in this movie.
Yeah, and he has some sort of joke. I can only paraphrase it, but basically saying, "What does he have that the other Robin Hoods didn't?" Or something. He's like, "I can speak in a British accent."
I have a British accent. Yeah. So apparently, he basically read the script and just thought it was shit, so he didn't want to do it.
Is it? I don't think it is. I don't think it's like.
I don't think it is
the Magnificent Ambersons, but it's like. But yeah, it's a fine summer adventure film.
No, I agree. Well, a couple points. I mean, I think that Costner came on, and by virtue of getting somebody like him, there was substantial rewriting done to his specifications. I think again, it's hard to underscore just how influential Kevin Costner was at that moment, and his window, in hindsight, was very brief when you think about it.
Yeah, surprisingly.
He had like maybe 4 years, and that might be overstating it.
But I mean, what a trail! Like, I mean, we remember him. We're like, oh yeah, big star. Yeah, Kevin Costner.
And I think to some extent,
awake. That's the word I was looking for.
Awake behind him, right? No, and I think to some extent, both you and I will always carry this residual goodwill for Kevin Costner.
But yeah, if Kevin Costner's on, like the Hatfields and McCoys, which I didn't watch, but if he's on something on television, I'm like, oh, that's a thing.
Yes.
Kevin Costner's in it.
He has a show right now called Yellowstone, I think.
I don't know.
It's created by Taylor Sheridan, I want to say, the guy, the Hell or High Water guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's another thing. I'm like, oh, I'd like to watch that, But yeah, it is somewhat comical with 20 however many years coming up on 30 years of hindsight to see Kevin Costner as Robin Hood. But yeah, we just took it at face value at the time.
Yes.
And
then I remember this joke on The Simpsons where Lisa, there's like two jokes. There's like a Waterworld arcade game joke about like it taking too many quarters or something, about how expensive it was. And there's something where Lisa's watching the commentary, right? And she thinks she's watching a commentary, but it's really just Kevin Costner because he's available. He's like, no, I'll talk about the movie with you or something like that.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Now, Marion here, who's played by Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio, she was a last-minute replacement because it was supposed to be Robin Wright.
Right, but she was giving birth to her first kid, right?
Yeah, so no priorities.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's a good thing that Cary Elwes didn't do it. Otherwise, it would have been a very weird Princess Bride reunion.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think of that.
That kind of worked out. I mean, I can definitely see Robin Wright as Marion. I have no problem seeing that.
Oh, totally. I thought Mastrantonio was good, too, though. It made me realize that she also feels like of a time. Right, like I can't think of the last thing I saw her in, but she was in The Abyss and this, and I remember that movie Class Action. And
yeah, it's weird. She has kind of disappeared. It feels like, doesn't she? I mean, I'm looking at her IMDb page, and basically after 2004, she's basically just on television.
Well, I mean that's as long as she's working.
Which keep it on working. She's in the Punisher, the Netflix series.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like seeing her was sort of like a nice face from the past. Like, oh yeah.
There was a time
I love The Abyss. I think that's probably plays into it.
The Abyss, what a great cast in that movie. Because it was Ed Harris and Michael Biehn, and that's one of those weird Cameron movies that's just kind of like fallen into an abyss, if you will.
It's totally true. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't play on TV very much. I think people kind of forget about it, but it's
well,
when you watch it, it's solid.
Well, Brian, I mean, Abyss and True Lies are like the only Cameron movies that haven't gotten Blu-ray transfers. So that means they're not in HD.
Ah, okay.
Right? So that would make sense why you don't see them on TV.
Do you think it's because he's holding out to put him in some sort of weird hologram or whatever he thinks the next future of movies is going to be?
Let me tell you about James Cameron in this Robin Hood commentary.
Yeah, and we should occasionally allude to what's happening on screen.
So we have been introduced. Now, by the way, we'll get back to Cameron in just a second. But the introduction of Maid Marian is really good because it established her as like powerful and she's strong and she's able to hold her own in a sword fight with Robin Hood. But I feel like the movie very quickly forgets that she's supposed to be this like fiercely independent woman.
Completely agree.
Because Act 3 with 20 plus years of hindsight is borderline cringe-inducing.
Yeah, I did cringe, so okay. it was cringy.
It's over the borderline of cringe-inducing. Okay, and we'll talk about that when we get there.
Yeah.
However, James Cameron True Lies and The Abyss, he said that there is a high-definition transfer that's been done, but he has to like make his notes, and he's just really busy. So he's like, I'm going to try to do it before the end of 2018, but we'll see what happens.
That's true. I mean, he's got all those Avatar movies, and he's got
37 Avatar sequels.
Yes.
That he's trying.
And Alita, and he apparently, I think I had mentioned this, but a friend of mine who was working on the Avatar film said that for a while he was just missing because he was working on Terminator.
Wow. Okay. So he's a busy man. Good for him.
Busy guy.
Anyway, Robin Hood.
So it's funny because, here, she's like, I remember you when you were a boy. And they keep talking about him being a spoiled boy. And I was thinking, and now he kind of, to me, looks about like 42 right. or something. And I was like, okay. But then I looked it up. I'm like, he's like 6 years younger than me. Okay.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's like 35 or something here.
No way. I look at him here and I'm like, no, he's older than me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's one of that phenomenon we talk about a lot when you see something as a kid. So if the person looked like a man to you as a kid, regardless of your age, they always feel older than you.
That's really, yeah, he is 35 in this movie.
35, yeah.
Good night. I mean, seriously, that's just bizarre to me. Are we just old, Brian? Is that what's going on?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
I've talked about this on the show, but this is like my current obsession. Like it's immediately when this movie started, I was like, all right, how old is everybody? I mean, especially these movies I grew up with is what I mean. Because I want to put it in context when I was a boy watching this and then how old they are on screen versus me. Oh, this is a funny gag here.
I love that bit with the so Azim he uses a lens to basically construct a jury rig, a telescope, and Robin Hood has never seen a telescope, so he looks through it, and first thing he does is just pulls his sword out because he thinks the enemy is right there.
Yeah.
It's very funny because this is the type of thing that today we'd get a lot of like, oh, it's a SJW Robin Hood, you know what I mean? Social justice warrior.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And I like that this movie just kind of weaves it into the narrative. But it does it in a way where the characters are learning from each other.
Yes.
I think Azim gets this big kind of grandiose moment near the end that sort of culminates what he's learned from Robin Hood.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it pays off really well.
Yeah.
I had the action figure, this specific action figure of Robin wearing this.
Oh, really?
This deal here, yeah.
With a big scarf or whatever.
Yeah, and the whole elaborate, not armor, but whatever that thing is he's wearing.
Yeah.
It's funny because again, at the time this movie came out, it was something different because it was reinventing a lot of the Robin Hood iconography, right? Because for most people, you thought of the Disney version, I would expect, the Fox,
right,
or you thought of Errol Flynn,
right, like green tights,
yes, exactly,
and sort of like a smocky sort of,
and this movie was critically mixed even at the time. I remember Roger Ebert was very like he gave it an extremely negative review.
Did he really?
Yeah, and it was something to the effect of like, it's just grim and just horrible and sort of like oppressive. He gave it like 2 out of 5 stars, something like that.
Oh, well, just you wait. Every movie, we'll show you grim in the 2000s.
That's right.
I was actually that's funny you say that. I'd forgotten, but when I was watching it, I thought this really did feel of a time,
yeah,
where you could be a little campier, right? It seems like after Batman Begins, every movie had to be deadly serious, and everything had to be grounded in realism. And this movie is a little more bouncy, and it is grounded, and its emotions are grounded. But it takes time for some humor, and it's a little campier than I think they would do now.
Yes, I definitely agree with that, and I think that, and maybe this is because of the proximity in time, but I think tonally it's very similar to like the approach of Batman '89.
Yeah,
where you look at that movie, and it's weird because we look at it now, and kids these days will be like, "Oh, it's so campy," But the truth is, that movie was explicitly not campy when it came out.
No, that was like a movie where they were talking about being too grim. I remember that very well.
Exactly. Well, why can't it be, cotton candy like the old show?
Yeah.
And you look at this now, and you compare it to, for example, the Russell Crowe, Ridley Scott version from 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And then, this one out right now. I mean, my God, those are. I mean, this new one is just like abject shit. Like, it's just hard for me to even say anything about that. And I suppose we will get into that more on the regular show.
Yeah.
But even like the Russell Crowe version, it's like, oh God, like, let's have some fun here,
Yeah, it just took itself too seriously.
Took itself too seriously, which is what makes Ebert's review very funny.
Yes,
which this is the first, Brian, this is the first sentence of Ebert's review. It says, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves is a murky, unfocused, violent, and depressing version of the classic story with little of the lightheartedness and romance we expect from Robin Hood.
See, obviously I would disagree with that.
Yes.
But, and I have hindsight, to use, but also I can imagine then of him thinking of Errol Flynn.
That's
bouncing around and going, ha-ha. So, yeah, I can see that in the time where maybe it would feel that way. But even at the time, I feel like I remember this being like a family film. Right? Am I wrong?
No, that's my recollection.
Yeah. In this part here. Where I just, all of this, I remembered all this. And I remember my brother and I think, like, fighting, like, with these sticks here at this river, like him and Little John. And then, of course, parodied hilariously.
Oh my God!
They keep breaking the sticks in half.
So funny. Like I could just watch that scene again and again from Men in Tights.
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting, though, Brian, how this film really, at least in my mind, maybe this is just my mind, but I always thought of Little John as like he's Robin Hood's guy.
Uh-huh.
Like it's Robin Hood and Little John, and then everybody else.
Yes.
I don't know. Is that just me, or is that
Wait, from this film or in the Robin Hood legend?
Before this.
Yes, because of the probably the Disney movie.
Maybe the Disney one. Maybe that's right. So it's interesting that really Little John is important, but it's Azim who's Robin Hood's guy, right?
Yeah.
So sucks to be you, Little John.
Even when I was rewatching this for this, I'd forgotten about Friar Tuck when he showed up. I was like, oh yeah, and I was even thinking like it felt more like an obligation when he showed up. But then they weave him in nicely. I think.
They do. They and he gets a little arc too.
Yes, yeah, which I really enjoyed.
And I think that was actually the thought that I had as I was watching it. I was like, I mean, we're talking about other movies like 2.5 hours long, but I mean, there's room to breathe where you get these just little moments of character and texture that give a richness to the overall experience.
Yeah, especially in the middle, and we can point some of these moments out, but I don't want to get ahead of ourselves because we'll have nothing to talk about.
we have just been introduced to Christian Slater here as Will Scarlet, so now begins the battle of the bad British accents.
Yeah, which I looked him up. Guess how old he was when he did this?
I'm afraid to ask.
41. No, he was. He was 21.
It's 20.
I was like 21. Wow,
21. My goodness. I mean, well, we were what, 11?
Yeah, and like I guess Heathers was like 2 years before this, something like that. He's playing like a teenager.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
But also, did you see that Johnny Depp was a front runner for that?
I didn't hear that, but that is the most unsurprising fact you could possibly tell me, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I can absolutely see that. Yeah, because you're my brother. You're my brother, Robin.
Savvy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
I will say that. I mean the sort of the familial contortions that the movie creates for Robin Hood and Will Scarlet. I completely rolled with it in 1991, but now the only thing rolling was my eyes.
Wait, what for? Which? Sorry.
Just when you say, Will Scarlet is actually Robin Hood's brother because there was this one time where his dad was sleeping with this woman. It's like, okay, that's enough of that.
Yeah, it felt like a little like wanting a Empire Strikes Back moment.
Yes, exactly.
But I mean, again, I'm not super versed in the actual old lore, so I was like, sure.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree there, but the director's edition or the extended cut sort of adds some other familial wrinkles where you're like, ugh, jeez.
Oh yeah. I saw that.
Which I don't know. Did you read about him? I'm assuming.
I did.
Okay, so we'll talk about that as we go.
Yeah.
Now they filmed this not in England. I believe this is in France.
Okay.
But regardless,
looks very cold. They're wet.
It looks very cold. Yeah, exactly.
It's freezing. What's interesting too? I was thinking in the previous scene when the horses were jumping over these stone, I don't know, dividers. They're not fences, I guess, but whatever. And they were knocking the stones over with their hooves. And I was thinking like, oh yeah, like this movie has no CGI.
Right.
Like they had to actually kind of figure all this out. And I think there's something you inherently feel about it. There's like I've been using this word a lot, but I really do feel there's like a verisimilitude to it all. Like
I 100% agree. I absolutely agree, and I think that's what really situates this movie in that specific time because it feels tactile.
Yes, tactile is a better word for it.
Right?
Yes,
and it's refreshing. I mean, there's some action sequences later where you just appreciate sort of the craft. Of everything that you're seeing in front of your eyes, you know that was actually happening.
Yeah, and I can't remember what it was, but I was watching something recently that was a little older, and it felt a little choppy.
Interesting.
Like the action that was happening, and I was like, well, that's because they couldn't do it. Like they just didn't have the ability,
right?
To perform what I'm sure they would have loved to have done in their imaginations. And so it's interesting that now there's just no limit.
Yeah.
But I think this movie, what it does really well, I mean, this scene is just really just guys fighting with sticks. But
yeah.
Even when we get to the third act, I was like, this is a great third act. I mean, the whole rescue and all the different pieces in motion that are going on,
and
like
the
they really, what's that?
The escalating tension.
The escalating tension, and it's all just stuff on the ground. They just find a good way, story-wise, to just carry it out and make you on the edge of your seat.
I 100% agree. Yeah, and I think that goes to Kevin Reynolds' ability to just very cleanly construct action sequences that are not necessarily showy, but they convey what's needed. And I realize as I say that sounds like damning with faint praise, and it's not intended to be that way.
Now, when you said, I was like, maybe he should make a Marvel movie.
I think he's exactly the kind of person you want making a Marvel movie.
Yeah. Like a Joe Johnston, and you find all these guys who just kind of know how to tell a story. And
that's very true, yeah.
Bring them back out.
That's true.
I like this scene, by the way, where they're here around the campfire now. Robin Hood with the merry men.
Now you got these two guys. That one guy who's just standing up and his like buddy, and to me they're like Merry and Pippin or something.
Exactly. I thought, the guy who's talking about his dong right now.
Yes.
Yeah. But they slightly resemble them in a way. But yeah, they do feel like this sort of comical duo.
Yeah. It's, Ebert in his review, he talks about how the movie sort of reimagines Robin Hood as like a Che Guevara type. And I thought it's very interesting because it again, as we discussed earlier, this is Ebert looking at it by way of Errol Flynn as comparison, right?
Yes.
And it's it's so much of what this movie did to me, I just internalized as like, well, that's how Robin Hood should be.
Yeah.
right?
And especially, yeah, when you're like 11 and this is what movies feel like, and then Robin Hood's in a movie that you're,
Yeah.
the tone that you're used to. That's, yeah.
So it's very funny that like cut to 19 years later when the Ridley Scott one comes out, I'm like, this is no, you don't do it like this.
Yeah.
You do it like the way the Kevin Costner movie did it, So
Yeah. But that movie does feel like a response to The Dark Knight, doesn't it?
Oh, it absolutely does. Yeah. Well, and more than that, it's the Ridley Scott one. It purports to be like, this is the real story.
Exactly.
You've heard the myth. And I've said this bugs the shit out of me. This is like one of my worst. There was like a period where movies were doing this because there was also a King Arthur movie, if you remember.
Yes. Wait, which one?
I know. It seems like Robin Hood and King Arthur, like every couple of years, they just get remixed. But this is the one.
Clive Owen and Keira Knightley and everything.
That's right, and it's directed by Antoine Fuqua, I believe.
Yes, Antoine Fuqua. Yeah.
And again, that's like, this is the real story of King Arthur. And it's like King Arthur, there was no Excalibur, there was just this guy, and he's like a Roman soldier, some such shit. And it's like, and Guinevere's like this weird jungle woman or whatever. And I'm like, can you just like give us the thing that we know? Like we don't, I don't need you to put it in a blender. Just give me the thing I like the way I like it.
And I agree. It wasn't that a Bruckheimer movie too?
Yes, it was.
So why would I want like the real story from any Bruckheimer movie? Like that's the one I want to be the biggest version.
Yeah, and I think if we're talking about King Arthur, that's actually the one problem with King Arthur is that there really hasn't been the like definitive one, like that really does the iconic original story, right? And whereas I feel like with Robin Hood we've at least had that, but that's what Ridley Scott was like. Oh, this is the real story, and I'm like, guys. To me, it's like, hey, we're going to do a movie about Superman, but this isn't the story you've heard. This is the real story. This is about Sid Superman, the circus,
right, yes.
the circus strongman who, was in Cleveland in the Depression. And it's like, well, what the hell is this?
I completely agree.
Right?
Yeah. By the way, I think I looked up the cinematographer for this because I was like, this movie's really beautiful, and I was curious if it is someone who had gone on to direct or whatever. I'm looking up right now. Douglas Milsom, and he's been working consistently, but not on as big of movies as you would imagine. And there were a couple moments throughout. I mean, there's the iconic shot of Kevin Costner with the flaming arrow.
Yeah,
right.
It really is iconic. That was everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And look at even the way this church is lit. I mean, this movie's beautiful. But I was just surprised that he didn't really go on to much else. Well, I that sounds really, really not what I mean. Because like I said, he's been working consistently, but I'm surprised he wasn't making these big movies.
That is interesting.
This movie's gorgeous.
So now here we are back with the Sheriff movie.
Yes. Yeah, which is, I don't know. Was it jarring to you this time?
It was slightly jarring, especially, I mean, not so much even this stuff necessarily, but like definitely when he's with the witch, because there's like this kind of weird fisheye lens that's used, and
I was going to point that out. Yes,
yeah, and so it's jarring to the extent that at least this time, what stood out to me is how little screen time the two share.
Yes,
because basically we've got this scene coming up. And then the end of the movie,
right?
And
right,
if I'm not mistaken, I mean the sheriff and Robin don't really encounter each other, other than that.
Yeah, he was actually in the movie less than I remembered.
The sheriff.
Yeah, he just made such a big impression, I guess.
Well, I what I read is that a lot of his stuff they ended up cutting out because he was just kind of overpowering the movie.
That's interesting.
And I mean. Maybe I mean this is, there is, some would argue, I wouldn't necessarily say this, but there is sort of a somnambulant quality to some of Costner's delivery.
No, sure. yeah.
and so you put him in the same room as Alan Rickman, who's just acting to the bleachers.
Yes.
It definitely, you can sort of see. I mean, I didn't realize I'd be making this comparison so much, but it's kind of the same complaint that people had about Michael Keaton in Batman. That he was like kind of like sleepwalking through it. He's like down here, and then
right.
Nicholson is being Nicholson.
It's funny, these are so close.
Yeah, I truly I didn't realize until I started talking to you sort of all the weird comparisons that come up. But I think those are apt. I think they are apt comparisons.
Yeah. I want to point out. Whoa, my voice is cracked. I want to point out, and we can't cut this because it's a commentary.
You really are going back in time to when this movie first came out.
So we have the scene here.
You're like Brian. It's like, you know those commercials. I forget what the cereal was, where it's like it has the adult eating the cereal, and then it's like it has this for me, and it has this for the kid me, and it's like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. No. What was that for?
What was the cereal?
It wasn't Life, right? That was Mikey Likes It.
No, was it like Chex?
That feels right. Oh, okay. Is it Frosted Mini Wheats? Because one side is frosted.
Frosted Mini Wheats.
Yeah.
Man, we really are covering the gamut in this commentary.
But I was just going to point out, I thought this was interesting. So we've got Robin wearing like a cloak, looking like a beggar, sneaking into church. Mm-hmm. And Marion is like praying by these candles. And he goes over and is like, hey, it's me. And so she has this moment where she goes, hey. And he goes, what? She goes, take a bath.
Yeah.
Right? So when I was a kid, I thought that meant, because later she spies on him swimming naked.
Yeah.
And I thought that meant she wanted to see him naked or something like that.
Okay.
I was like, and I was thinking about today, that was even still my memory of it. I was like, they didn't have like phones. Like, how did he know when to swim for her to see? Like, I just never understood that line. And then I thought, oh, maybe it's because he smells. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, I found out what it is. In the novelization.
There's a backstory to this. I had no idea. Okay.
In the novelization, in editing, they can move bits around, but with the novelization, they got to write it in advance. So they do it from the script before things have been the final edit. And the scene in the third act, where Robin is hiding again in the cloak and he smears horse manure all over himself.
Yes.
That was actually supposed to go before this scene.
No
in the church.
Way.
So he's covered in horse manure in the church, and she goes, "Oh, and take a bath."
How funny. Okay.
So that's what. Otherwise, it's like, okay.
That's really interesting because I paid attention to that line this time, and I was just like, oh, I guess he smells. Like I didn't.
Yeah.
I was like,
it
Robin
works.
Hood has BO. Okay, we humanize our characters, you know.
Right. But I thought, yeah, it was kind of interesting. But we can talk about that a little. I realize we're not talking about much on screen. Oh, well, this is a
great
good
scene. I really like this scene. So Robin talks to this. What is this guy? The church guy
or something?
Is he
the
abbot?
The abbot?
Yeah, the guy, like the church guy.
Yeah, like a priest.
Yeah, is he the priest though? I mean, what's his? I don't know.
I'm not Catholic.
Anyway, so he's.
I don't know. I don't know what he's called.
he's. We don't realize he's corrupt until he tells Robin, "Oh yeah, your like father was like worshiping the devil and all this stuff, right?" So
yeah, it's a big plot point, which I was like, "Huh, a lot of devil worship in this movie."
Yeah, well, it's interesting because it's woven into this story the idea that the church there's like inherent corruption within the church.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and we differentiate the church from like Friar Tuck.
Yes, yeah, he's like a true man of faith.
Yeah,
versus this corrupted by the guy who's in cahoots with the sheriff.
Right, and so this notion of the clergy and the corrupt aristocracy being interlinked, that's something that's carried over into both the Ridley Scott one and also in this most recent one. But what's interesting is that this film cut out like one of the main Robin Hood characters, who is Prince John. Right, because in the myth, right, King Richard goes off to war, and so in his place we have his brother King John, who's just a layabout ne'er-do-well, and so he's the one who's corrupted the throne, and then the sheriff is kind of just his like enforcer. Mm-hmm. And with this film, they, like I said, I think the calculation was it's just too many characters, and you certainly don't need that character, in this telling. But it is kind of interesting that, he had traditionally been a very important figure in the story.
Yeah. But that scene with the encounter between Robin and the sheriff, and he slices his cheek there, which sets up a very funny joke later.
Yes.
There was a lot of that I remembered. That thing and the whole cut his heart out with a spoon.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's something people of a certain vintage, whether they haven't seen this movie since 1991, that's something that just sort of stuck. I think a lot of people remember that. And that's a very memorable line.
And that's, one of those things that Alan Rickman and his his punch-up team.
Yeah, and it's similar. Here we go. Yeah, why a spoon, cousin?
Because it'd hurt more.
Yeah. And I've noticed people of a certain age, too, if you say it's a little too quiet, some people will go like, it's a little too Raph. I always get delighted. I'm like, you remember that, too? Is that something we all remember?
Now I know why doves cry. See, if you
this is funny, by the way, here too, where he's like, we could set up a name for him, like Robin the Loxley the Lethal. I was waiting for like Robin the Hood. I was waiting for like the bad Prince of Thieves.
No, but if you look at the camera work in like Nottingham Castle, it's very sort of it calls attention to itself to some extent.
The handheld? Is that kind of what you mean, or
like when Sir Guy of Gisborne and the sheriff are talking to each other, it's very kind of in their face. It's cropped differently than when we're with the Merry Men.
Yeah. And you called it out already, but there's a lot of fisheye, particularly on Guy here.
Yeah, weird, right?
I'm not quite sure. It is unsettling.
Yes.
It kind of adds an extra uncomfortable weirdness to him.
Well, I mean, if the goal is to, by virtue of the witch and stuff, to make it that these guys are kind of supernatural evil,
Yeah.
And I mean,
reality
obviously,
worked around them.
The irony in plot terms is that here's the sheriff. He's using the calumny of devil worship as a way to like keep people in line, when he in fact is the one who's aligned with somebody who's using unnatural, doing something that's clearly ungodly.
Right.
This witch. So he's a hypocrite. Turns out, Brian. I don't know if you know this, but politicians can be hypocritical.
What? Come on.
So this scene here is, at least to me, it feels like the moment where Costner just sort of gave up the ghost in trying to do an English accent.
There's one line here that I wrote down.
You wrote.
And I was like, ooh, we're losing it. Like, this is another notch. This is another notch. Is this the, like, by God, we'll take it back?
Yeah.
That's this speech, right?
Right here.
Okay. This is another pivotal turning point.
Costner accent count. Ding!
Because I think he might still be doing it a little bit. But then when he feels more comfortable, right? When he can just be Costner.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know. It's easy to make fun of, but probably makes the movie better. Honestly, if he can just sort of be at ease.
But it's interesting because, like, what would the calculus have been, right? Like, if you're the company, you say, well, Kevin Costner's a big star, but he can't do an English accent to save his life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's weird. Like if you're in that position, you, Brian, are like, all right, we got to make this movie. Wouldn't that be like a deal breaker for you? Like, can you do a convincing English accent?
I think so. I think especially in this internet age where everyone will rip this movie to shreds before it opens, that could be a bigger thing. But back then, like, again, I mean, like Kevin Costner, Robin Hood, sold.
But would it be more distracting to hear Kevin Costner doing an English accent?
I think so.
Yes.
I think so. Yes. Sorry. That's what. Oh, that reminds me, by the way, I might have told this story. This is so old now, it doesn't matter anymore. But a friend of mine was in a room with a conference call with Harrison Ford when they were going to
dude, this is why we think with the same brain. I was going to be like, don't you know a thing? And you just like...
Yep, because it was for K-19 The Widowmaker, where he was going to play a Soviet submarine captain or something.
Yes.
And he was trying to convince the studio that he could do a convincing Russian accent.
And folks, if you haven't seen that movie, go look at the trailer on YouTube, because it's Harrison Ford with like marbles in his mouth trying to sound like Boris Badenov.
Yeah. And that would be kind of humbling, huh? I mean, you're a huge actor, and you're like, no, I can do this. Like, we have food and weapons. Like, just, you still sound like you're from Iowa, man.
It's very funny because there's this, so Harrison Ford in K-19 is like, we will not fail. And you're like, well, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. But here, first of all, I love this montage, this training.
We got to call this out.
Oh my
God.
Great music,
cool.
great. This honestly, Brian, like, I haven't seen the movie the whole way through in a while, but like I'll every once in a while I'll just be like, I want to watch that Robin Hood training montage, and I just put this on.
Yeah, all these guys making arrows, pouring metal.
I just watch this. I'm like, I want to rob some people after I watch this.
Which, by the way, it must have been in correlation to this movie, but a couple years after this, I took archery lessons.
Oh, really?
I wonder if it was because of this. I really don't remember, but probably. That was really fun, by the way. I should look up, see if there's any out here. I'd like to do that again. But yeah, I was kind of impressed with, they cover quite a bit of ground in this movie. I mean,
yes.
Like winning these people being forced out of their homes as a response to Robin, but then you have Will, right? Christian Slater calling him out, and then he gets like dumped on this whole movie. I started to feel kind of bad for him.
Yeah.
He gets shot in the hand just a couple minutes ago by Robin. Well, he was admittedly he was going to try to kill him.
He did want to kill him, yeah, which seems like,
Oh, here's like the shot.
Oh, this is the trailer shot.
That the POV of the arrow that Robin shoots into the tree. I mean, that was, I don't know if we'd ever seen that before, but that became, it was in every trailer, it was in the music video, and I feel like a lot of people did responses to that. Sort of like the Matrix, late 90s,
yes.
right?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, for no reason, Charlie's Angels, they could like defy physics.
Everyone's doing bullet time.
Yes, and I think that shot was like a really, at least in that moment, I remember that being a big influential thing.
I know. I remember it was like in the commercial for the cereal, the breakfast cereal.
Right. See, that thing will sell anything.
We, in our recent episode, we were talking about like crappy licensed cereals, and there was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves cereal, which, again, it was made by Ralston, that same company. And if ever a movie was meant to have a cereal that would last for about 3 months and then disappear, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't see yourself like 20 years later eating Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves cereal,
Right. It would have been kind of cool though no, it wouldn't be actually. I was gonna say it reminds me of that Szechuan sauce thing that McDonald's had from Mulan.
Right,
and then,
yeah.
So what if it was just brilliant? What if it was just this amazing cereal and it's one of those things where it's like,
Well, it's like Ecto Cooler, right?
Yes.
That shit lasted for like 30 years or something crazy. Like they only just recently stopped making it.
Well, it was several years back, actually, maybe 10, 15, something or around that. And then it did come back when the Ghostbusters reboot
They
came
brought
back.
it back, but yes, they did bring it back just recently, but they had only stopped making it like in the mid-2000s.
Wow, yeah.
Which is still pretty damned impressive when you figure Ghostbusters stopped being a thing in the early 90s.
Yes, and I went out of my way. I took a big field trip with a bunch of coworkers, and we found it. We had to track it down, and we went and we
the re-release.
The re-release, and we got it, and it was in a big like Coke, like soda can, right?
Okay.
Because it used to be in a small juice box, and then when we opened it up and we tried it, we had a couple sips, and I was like, "Ooh,
oh boy!
Like,
all right,
oh, this is really, really, really sweet."
Isn't that sad? Isn't that depressing? Like,
yeah, a little bit.
It's best to just have it live in your head. See, look at the camera. Look at the way the camera moves. There's a freedom to the camera. It's clearly handheld here.
Yes. I didn't even think about that. You're right. Not even just the sort of fisheye. This looks like a wide angle lens, but like there's a distortion to the frame.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the handheld thing, yeah, you're totally right.
I mean, you know what it feels like? It feels like Rickman was just kind of following his muse. So rather than be locked down, Kevin Reynolds probably just had whoever go handheld and just be like, just follow what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, here we go. What does he say? Cancel Christmas?
Yeah. Call off
Christmas.
So you know what movie he's in?
Yes. Oh, is this the part with the statue?
Yes.
And he's walking down the hall, and then the statue he had commissioned of himself. Now someone has scrawled a scar on the side. Which, by the way, Kevin Costner in the third act, when he sees it, he gives the perfect reaction to seeing it. Do you remember that?
I do, yeah.
They could have had him do a double take, but instead he just kind of does like am I seeing that right? And then he just keeps going. It was so understated and perfect. I loved it. Even this too with these women. He's like, you, 10:30,
really,
you
10:45.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You're totally right.
Rickman, I mean, it's a measure of your vintage. Like, you either know him as Hans Gruber or you know him as Snape. But then there's this like little middle thing there where it's like, oh no, he's a sheriff.
Yeah, I mean, well, he was, if I remember right, I mean, he was a huge talking point in this movie. Like a big reason to go see it.
Yeah.
This is the guy, the Merry and Pippin guys?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's later.
No, yeah, we see them when no, they're here. Right? Well, there's
they are here, yeah. This is kind of funny. Like, how many men? 5. There's 20.
They can't count.
They can't
count. And they call me Barbarian. It's great. This is the first time I saw Morgan Freeman was in this movie.
I think, yeah, probably me too.
Actually, no. You know what? I take that back. The first time I became aware of him, like as a person, was in this. But I knew him on a TV show growing up called The Electric Company.
You're right. Then I would have seen him already.
Right? He was the easy reader.
Yeah. We used to watch that in school.
Oh, yeah. They used to show that on TV in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it's very 70s, right?
Yeah. Oh, very much so. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, so Friar Tuck, I thought this was interesting. All the medieval songs these guys are singing are actual medieval songs from the 13th century.
Oh, interesting.
Which, isn't that kind of fascinating? I mean, that's actually really awesome. Like, think about that. Like, hundreds and hundreds of years, and a song is living on. That's kind of amazing.
That is, yeah. In like, who would have thought that?
Yeah. It'll be like when, hundreds of years from now, like Katy Perry's Fireworks. And they're like, dude, did you know that was actually from the 2000s?
Wow.
Yeah.
So Friar Tuck is played by actor Michael McShane, who is like, he's got a list of credits as long as your arm, just like dependable character actor, kind of a William Hootkins type.
Yeah.
He of Jack Porkins fame.
Yep.
He was just recently in Wayward Pines, which is that, wasn't that the M. Night Shyamalan series?
Yeah. On Fox, I believe.
Yeah.
This is like a cool little set piece, too, by the way.
It is.
It's very well executed.
Well, and I think that's something that this movie does pretty well. Kind of going back to Dencham's whole Raiders thing. I mean, it keeps moving.
Yeah, it keeps moving, and back to the tactile thing. I mean, it's just, I completely believe what they just accomplished here.
Yes.
Like with using the forest to their advantage and the sort of little booby traps and little hidden areas they've made for themselves. You're like, so that's how they would have pulled that off. That kind of feels possible.
Yeah, and the idea of how do you have this many people living in the forest without being found out?
Mm-hmm.
And, you have to demonstrate that they've just mastered the terrain.
Right.
Although the question becomes, like, why... Like, they were living in the forest already. So why...
Some of them, right?
Well, like Little John and, Will Scarlet and a few of these. But, like, not the families and stuff.
Right.
But they were already there. So why Robin Hood?
Why let him be their leader?
Yeah, this guy just kind of shows up.
I thought that. I kind of bought it when he gave his rousing speech on that big tree
He's
stump.
like, hey, guys, this is what we got to do.
Yeah, I mean, maybe because he's a lead actor that I am familiar with, I am naturally drawn to him that way. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of buy it.
Robin Hood. The sheriff is after us, Robin Hood. What should we do? Here's the plan.
We're going to take it back.
By God, we take it back. Hey, Dad, you want to go for a catch? It's like that saying.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that make me cry. This is kind of funny. I love this. They're like, "Hey, man, will you like be our pastor?" And he's like all drunk. He's like, "No!" He just drives away, then falls out of the cart. Okay, fine.
I guess fine.
I like this character. Yeah, because like I was saying, when I was watching this the first time, I felt like he felt there by obligation, but then he became like a nice little bit of color to the whole endeavor.
Yeah, well, and Friar Tuck is, it's sort of like you got to go down the list of characters that you need to have. But it's funny actually because you got Little John, you got Will Scarlet, you got Friar Tuck, but that's basically it. And there's quite a few more like Merry Men characters that the movie just kind of skips past.
Like who?
Well, let's see. There's Alan Adale, who's the he's the he plays the ballads. And then there's who else? There's Will something else. There's Much, the Miller's son. There's all these characters. I remember. I read the Robin Hood books.
Oh, see, I never did. So this, like we were saying, this is kind of my Robin Hood. So this is what I draw from.
I remember reading. There was like a scholastic book, so it was like aimed at a younger audience. But what I always liked about the Robin Hood story, and I like this about the King Arthur story too, is that the story ends and like the character dies, right? So Robin Hood, like his story ends with him dying and being buried in the forest. And as a kid, I always found that very profound. Like that's what makes this amazing myth that we go from beginning to end.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like the Robin Hood is I forget, he's like poisoned, right? And so his aunt, who is like against him, she basically she's like a medicine woman. So they take him to her,
like Dr. Quinn.
Exactly like Dr. Quinn, yeah. And so she's gonna bleed him, right? Because back in the day, it would be like you bleed somebody and you have the illness leave, and then you tighten their wounds. This is a stupid way. Like, that's why people died so much back then, right?
Yeah.
Right. But what she does, essentially, she lets him bleed out, basically.
Oh my God. That's part of the original legend?
Yeah, and so he's at death's door, right? And the Merrymen find out what's happening, and so they rescue him. But he's at death's door, and so he as his last act, he's like, "Give me my bow," and he like shoots his arrow into the forest, and he's like, "Bury me where that arrow landed."
Wow, I like that.
Yeah, and so
Zachy,
yeah,
do you see what's happening here? You and I need to retell the Robin Hood story.
One more time.
Next.
But that's the funny thing, is we've never gotten that.
That's a pretty beautiful ending, actually. I really love the image of that, of him shooting the arrow, and
yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's very similar to the Arthurian legend, which ends with him being killed in battle, and his body's taken off to Avalon, right? And I think that's interesting, and I'm like, well, do that then, Mm-hmm. So many of these Robin Hood movies are like, all right, we'll be back in our next movie, which is never going to get made, Right. And that's one thing I'll say that I really, it feels very quaint, but which I appreciate so much about this, is the movie ends.
Yes.
The story ends. We're like, he's not Robin Hood anymore.
Yep.
He's won his thing, and okay, we're done now. And no, there's not going to be a sequel because that's it.
Yep.
And don't you kind of love that?
I do. Yeah.
See, here's Merry and Pippin.
Yep.
Whatever the hell.
And we just had the sheriff, we should say, kill off his cousin there. Which again, he feels a little goofy. It's always kind of weird when like a villain cries in a movie for like laughs.
So this is where Marion comes to. This is the scene you were referring to earlier.
Yes, with the Merry and Pippin. And then she's like, I told Robin I wanted him to take a bath. So where is it?
So I'm here. I got his text. I'm here.
Right. See, we get badass Marion here again.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the debits of this film, is I can't really figure out what it wants Marion to be, because you sort of say, all right, well, because the way she's being portrayed is relatively ahead of its time in 1991.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, cut to 2010, and you've got Kate Blanchett as Marion, and she's like in armor and like leading the army and whatever,
Right.
What's funny is you and I went and saw the Ridley Scott Robin Hood together, but I'm fairly certain you couldn't remember jack all about it. I
don't remember one thing about that movie. And it's not even like me trying to be snide. I just don't.
Yeah, no. It's a fairly forgettable movie. That right there is not naked Kevin Costner, by the way.
Oh, really?
I mean, from the rear. That Kevin Costner had an ass double.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, it's when you're Kevin Costner.
That you can put that in your contract.
Yeah.
I don't show my ass for nobody. I don't show my ass for anything less than $20 million. And nobody paid. It's like, we want you in the movie, Kevin. We don't want you that much.
Or that much, Kevin.
Or that much, Kevin. But
Wait, so now you are pretty familiar with the director's cut of this. So I thought this was kind of interesting. I guess at one point the original editor, according to IMDb, says he was locked out of the editing suite.
Yes.
And some other people went to town on this movie, and I wonder what the debate was. Like, what were they not achieving that they felt? Oh, there's the Ewok playset.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, I wonder what this movie was that they felt they needed to whip it into this, which I feel is pretty good.
The theatrical cut is honestly fine for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see enough differences with the extended cut to warrant. I mean, it adds about 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Well, and apparently a lot of Rickman that we'll never see because they felt it wasn't jiving, right?
Yeah, I think those cuts made sense.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree.
So it's interesting because, like I said, it came down to the fact that you had two directors named Kevin on this movie. One of those Kevins was an Academy Award winner.
Right.
So he was able to be like, no, I want it this way and this way, and that was the cause of the friction between the two of them. What's interesting to me is that Kevin Costner as a director, you look at his films, he's not exactly known for brevity.
Right.
So it's interesting that his preferred cut is shorter.
Yeah.
I would argue that the theatrical cut is a stronger version of the movie.
Yeah. I don't know the difference, but I don't feel like there's anything missing.
Right. I think this version we're watching right now gives you basically everything you need. There's some bits of business there's one major character beat that the theatrical cut, the director's cut adds. But other than that, it's not substantial enough to worry about.
Yeah. By the way, so when they were doing the boy, right, Robin distracts him while he's shooting the arrow, and he's like, hey, you got to be paying attention. And then Marion blows on his ear, and he misses. Yeah. Oh man, this music video, I realize how much is embedded in my brain because I could probably piece it back together. I just remember those images from that music video.
And actually, talking about that song, I do like how that music is woven into Kamen's score.
Yeah. Did he help write it?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. And it's I guess when Marion leaves, which is coming up in a few minutes, but I actually thought that was a really beautiful moment.
Yeah, I agree.
Like the way it's shot and the sort of the emotion that it was making me feel, and coupled with the music, it's pretty cinematic.
Yes. So the song is written by Bryan Adams, Michael Kamen, and Robert John Mutt Lang. So they all earned some nice royalties.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
This is one of those things too where I feel like in some movies we would call this the saggy middle.
Yes.
Everything slows down, but I didn't feel that.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah, this movie stops, so we can spend quite a bit of time with Robin and Marion and just sort of see this life in the forest. But I felt like all this worked really well.
No, I completely agree. I actually think this right here where they're
that is a beautiful shot.
It's shot very
really
well.
romantic.
You see, so he's holding Marion as they go down this rope. The light is shining through the forest. It looks really nice and it's sweet. And I think it's a key piece of character development in that what we're seeing is this romance has to come from a place where she realizes he's not, that boy who was, picked on or pulled her pigtails or whatever the hell,
Mm-hmm.
And I think, if there's a failing in the film, it's that we don't really see Crusades Robin to get that contrast. So
sure.
To some extent, that's left for exposition. This scene right here, man, do I love it.
Oh, it's so sweet. Look at those smiling eyes, by the way. He looks so...
Yeah, and he exudes this kindness, and not.
But we
just,
should tell you what's happening.
Yeah, so this little girl comes up to him, and she's like, "Did God paint you?" She's talking to Azim, and he says, I love his reaction. He laughs, and he says, "For certain."
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "Well, why?" And he says, "Because Allah loves wondrous variety," you know? And I think the choice that the filmmakers made to put Friar Tuck on the wrong side of this faith divide was fairly revolutionary back then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know?
I would agree.
Because it's not even a thing where it's like a both sides thing. You're like, no, Friar Tuck's an asshole to him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really interesting to me, you know?
Yeah. And so I found it very satisfying, like what I was alluding to earlier, where everyone sort of grows by the end of this movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's like where people end up. I mean, I know it sounds really corny, but I was like, man, that's how it's supposed to be. You know,
Right.
like we all learn about each other and learn to like each other.
That's the theory, anyway.
Yeah. So, but that again goes to what I was saying, where this movie doesn't feel hard or cynical. You know, like it can have those moments and it can make me smile. And maybe some people would be like, oh, come on. I'm like, well, whatever. Makes me feel good.
I mean, and how much of that is that we were at kind of like the perfect age to take a movie like this in?
Yeah. That could be part of it. What did your kids think, by the way?
They enjoyed it, yeah. You know, I mean, they're at that age where it's kind of nice because I just put something on and they watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And I, you know, I'm careful about the type of stuff I show them. But to me, I was like, well, this is, to me, it is one of those movies that you should watch when you're a kid because it's like high adventure and it's, you know, it isn't especially dark. Like, it's weird. Like I think it is dark, but it's not like oppressive dark.
I wonder if for who this movie was aimed at, maybe the violence is a little heightened versus what people were used to. Because, I mean, this is coming off the 80s where there was like the PG movie still existed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
and
right.
this one's like a little harder.
This was
So
PG-13.
Yes.
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just came out of like the Spielberg 80s.
Right.
And so this probably feels a little more grim by comparison, but now we have 20, 30, whatever it is, years
Yeah.
removed. We're like, no, this is nice.
Yeah, right.
So this scene here where Lil Jon's wife is giving birth, when it started happening the first time I watched it today, I watched this movie twice today, by the way, guys. Yeah, no, when it first started happening, I felt like, this feels like something that could be cut. But by the time it was over, I was like, I'm so glad that was in there. You know, because this is just character building for everybody. So by the end, when everyone's working together, we know everyone, we know what they've been through, we know how much they've grown together, and so it's very satisfying watching them pull off their plan together.
That's really interesting because I agree with you that I don't think you'd see a scene like this today.
No, definitely not.
So, I mean, what do you think the calculus was in including it? What does this add to the overall tapestry?
For me, it's Azim and Lil Jon. This is like a big thing for them, right?
Right.
Because he doesn't want him helping with the birth, right? Doesn't he kind of...
Friar Tuck doesn't.
Oh, is it Friar Tuck? I'm sorry, I'm confusing it. But yes, okay,
Friar
yeah.
Tuck is like he's a heathen and whatever. So, and Little John, or Robin is like telling Little John like if that's what he's saying, you should listen to him.
That's right. I was remembering it wrong because now that I'm looking at Friar Tuck,
because Azim is like the baby, like we got to turn the baby.
Yeah, because he's seen this with horses before.
Yeah, that's right.
And so because there's a complication with the birth, but then he knows how to fix it. But then it becomes this really sweet moment, and also like this, like what are we fighting for kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and I actually I think another important thing is that it weaves Marion into their group.
Yep. I was just thinking that watching her holding the baby.
Right. Like,
she's in.
She's in. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. These people need our help.
And obviously, the other thing is I love this here. He says, "You truly are a great one." I love it. I mean, I genuinely, I can't emphasize enough how much that touched me when I was a little kid. You know.
Yeah.
It's like the seal of approval. Like Robin Hood is saying, this person is important. He matters. You know.
Yeah.
And then here,
This,
we get
I
this
like
little
this.
scene here.
This is a nice moment here.
It's
The Lord has taught me a fine lesson.
yeah,
I love it.
you know. And I think it's important because we need to be on Tuck's side at the end. Like, we need to be like, Tuck is a good guy,
Yes.
right? And we can't be if we don't have this scene here.
Mm-hmm.
Because that bit at the end when he faces off with the priest or the abbot or whatever that guy is, it's got to be like, yeah, Friar Tuck's a good guy, you know?
Yes. Yeah. And that's the hard thing, too, I think, sometimes is, I know as a writer, too, it's tempting. Like, you want everyone to be a character you like.
Yeah.
But, like, sometimes you have to start with people broken so they can be fixed.
That's a good point.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's the frustrating thing with this new film, man. It's like, first of all, I watched the movie, and I was like literally the only person in the theater. And,
oh, really?
Yeah, and for those of you listening to this like far into the future, I watched the new Robin Hood movie like maybe like the Monday after it came, or the Tuesday after it came out. Mm-hmm. No one else in the theater, and the thought I had is like, it didn't feel real. It felt like franchise building.
Uh-huh.
And you know, there's always that part of me, because my niece, she's 14, and she's never seen a Robin Hood movie. She's like, it was so good.
Oh, well, hey. All right.
No, Brian. Don't make excuses for me. Don't justify this behavior. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, have kids just gotten dumber or something? 'Cause, I don't know, you know?
See, but then when they make the whatever version with pew pew pee pee or whatever off of YouTube in like 20 years, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's gonna be like, no, it's Taron Egerton or whatever his name.
That's the thing. I mean, it's very funny because the Eve Hewson, who plays Marion, she's got this like just pristine, beautiful makeup. Mm-hmm. While she's like living in, you know, the mines and some such thing, and I'm like, how is nobody saying anything about this? It looks ridiculous, you know. And you got Ben Mendelsohn as the sheriff, who he's full Rickman.
I was gonna say he was one of the seeing Ben Mendelsohn flustered is something I've grown to really enjoy. So that was a selling point for me, but that was maybe the only one. It
is one of the joys of modern cinema is when you see Mendelsohn go full Mendelsohn. Yeah. You know, and he's fun to watch, no doubt. But again, it's weird. The whole movie is so weirdly anachronistic and everything, and this is a pet peeve of mine. You know this. I don't like it when movies sort of call attention to their own artifice. Mm-hmm. When they wink at the audience, and there's a little bit too much of that. And again, that's for all of the flaws of Prince of Thieves. It plays straight with the story it's telling.
Yeah, which, by the way, so this is Marion leaving the camp, and I want to point this out because he's like, "Can you do this favor for me?" That's where we're pulling away there. Yeah. With Kevin Costner with The Mist. I think I wrote down. I was taking some notes. I was like, "Damn, that's cinematic."
Yeah,
like that just feels like a shot we wouldn't see in a movie anymore.
It's very true.
I don't know why. But I was like, ooh, I love this. And the music, Cayman's music is just killing it here. But I love her moment here also where she says, you know, he wants her to pull this favor, right, with King Richard? Yes. And I forget what he says, do it for someone. And she's like, I'll do it for you. And you're like, oh, it's the song. But obviously the song has completely colored my view of that phrase in this movie. But it's very sweet. Like, I really buy, I don't know, whatever they got going on there.
Yeah, I mean, I think you, to some extent, it's like every telling of the story, you're like, well, obviously Robin Hood and Maid Marian have to, that's just, that you know it. That's just, has to happen. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I think the problem is always when the movie assumes that we know they're supposed to fall in love, so it doesn't do the work.
Yeah.
To make them fall in love, you know?
Yeah.
To some extent, that was like, you know, at the end of Man of Steel, when Superman and Lois Lane kiss, it felt very out of the blue. To some extent, even though we've seen their relationship grow. It's like, well, I don't know if you're at like kiss level yet. You know?
Right.
You know, look at Rickman, man. I'm telling you, like, even on mute, you're like, this guy, he's doing it his way.
Right.
You know. Yeah, this stuff always grosses me out with the witch. He's like spitting and blood and like, no. It's just this bowl full of bodily fluids. You're like, oh, that's disgusting.
You're like, oh, that's fun.
Right. Yeah, the film posits that Marion is King Richard's cousin, and King Richard is held out there as sort of like this MacGuffin that, obviously that pays off down the line, but that is the invention of the movie as far as I know.
Yeah.
Look at this evil priest guy.
That reminds me, because I'm looking at this shot here. We were saying that Reynolds is dependable. I want to give him even a little bit more credit, but I forget who I last credited this to, but it's someone who you can't necessarily identify their style, but they have style.
Yes.
Maybe not a style, but they have style. And this movie definitely has style.
I know, I totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely feels like a 90s movie, and that's still something I'm not adequately able to articulate. I don't even know exactly what that is, but I can identify it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Sort of, especially that sort of like early mid-90s.
I was about to say, very specifically, it feels like a 90 to 95 movie.
Yep.
Well, Brian, I mean, if I might, I think what we can point to is Jurassic Park and how everything changed after that.
Oh, well, yeah, that's probably it, isn't it?
Right?
Yep. Are you talking about CGI?
Yeah, I mean, the introduction of CG in big and small ways. I mean, when you think about it, this is 10 years. This movie is 10 years before Lord of the Rings. Right? And by the time we got to Lord of the Rings, the way that movie would... I mean, that movie marries practical and digital constantly. Mm-hmm. And we were on like a slow ramp up towards that from basic Jurassic Park on. Yep. Right. So in a lot of ways, this movie is just like how many scenes like this are there in this movie where Marion is like nearly assaulted? I know. Yeah, it was a little uncomfortable. I mean, this and like there's some during the attack too. There's like some women being assaulted, and I'm like, this is just it's not necessary. You just wouldn't see it today. It wouldn't happen. Well, yeah, and just not. I don't think this. I mean, look, some movies are gonna depict history and whatnot, and they're gonna get grim and gritty because that's the point. But like, just in this movie, I just feel like it feels a little not much. Yeah, no, I agree with you. But in a lot of ways, you can point to Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves as being really kind of the end of an era, or the beginning of the end of an era. Yeah, the big budgeted, blockbuster without the aid of computers. Without, so again, you look at like Braveheart. Braveheart was kind of like the end of the line when you think about it. Yeah. Right? Because that was, 95, right? I think so. Braveheart was 95. You cut to 5 years later with the Gladiator, and that's just CGI'd up the yin-yang. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But it's kind of cool. I mean, and that's the thing. CGI is great when it's used well, sure, and like you can recreate coliseums and stuff. But it is interesting. My story is not as good because I can't remember the movie I was thinking of, where you could feel the limitations that the filmmakers were fighting against. But this movie, I don't feel like they're fighting against anything. Like they're using what's available to them perfectly. They're using their $50 million budget. Man, I can't believe this thing only cost. Well, I guess that was a lot back then. But. It was a lot back then. Now, this sequence here, I really like this because our second act Jeopardy, it really does do the job of knocking our heroes down. Yeah, this is a good sequence. The whole it's constructed very well, but it also it does the job of really putting them back on their heels. And sort of calling into question everything they've built up to now. Yeah, and I forgot to call it out, but on the Kevin Costner accent tracker, I had written down when he's talking to Marion in the treehouse. I just wrote down, and we're done. Because I think, if I remember correctly, when he's talking up there, he's just like, "Hey, it's nice to see you." This is blood money, Marion. Yeah. Robin, what is all this? They're trying to kill Richard. Yeah. Now these Celts here, the extended cut adds a scene where the sheriff basically recruits them to do this, and again, as I said earlier, it gives us more sheriff, which is certainly fun, but it doesn't do anything for the pacing. And I don't think you need anything other than you can connect the dots. Okay, he's got these crazy cuckoo bananas people to raid the forest.
Yeah.
So here, I mean, we see the sheriff. This is actually like the only time in the movie where we like see him completely out of his element.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
even so, there's no like it's very interesting and notable how he and Robin are never face to face, save for that one scene in the beginning and then at the very end.
Yeah. It's funny because, when I was revisiting it, I wasn't sure how he was going to react upon seeing Robin. Because Robin just goes, doink, and like slices his face and runs away.
Right.
But I thought maybe they were going to have a little bit of a conversation, but fortunately Robin knew better.
Yeah.
I would have gotten killed.
I did like that little bit there where we see Costner get to his knees and he jams a bunch of arrows in the ground.
He's got a lot of cool arrow action in this, like where he's like ripping off feathers because he needs to get some guy slightly to the left.
Right. Yeah, they do some cool stuff.
Yeah, they make it feel like legit he knows how to work that thing. Or he's thinking about it. Like it could just be CGI arrows or whatever he does, they go wherever he wants, but they make it feel like this guy in real life would know how to hit his target wherever it is.
Yeah.
And arrows would suck, wouldn't it? Aren't you so glad we weren't alive during this time?
Are you kidding me? I would have been Robin Hood's best friend. That's what this movie tells me anyway.
Right.
I'd be fine. I'd have my like big ass scimitar.
I just kept thinking that during this. I was like, oh man, I don't want to poop out in the woods.
Yeah, that wiping with leaves.
Yeah.
So a lot of, I mean, you can sort of tell where it's Costner and where it's not. You're like stuntman, Costner, stuntman.
That's funny. Actually, I wasn't really thinking about it. Now I'm going to pay closer attention.
See, I mean, the way their whole the Sherwood hideout is constructed, it's very different from sort of the what had been the norm. You know,
What was that?
You know, it feels very gritty.
Oh, I see.
In this film,
sure.
you know, it feels very functional and not as fanciful.
Like some sort of cool set designed fun movie from the 40s kind of thing.
You know, I think the idea of, I mean, again, it's I didn't see the Errol Flynn version until much later, The Adventures of Robin Hood.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, I mean, honestly, I think it's fine, don't get me wrong, but I was like, it's fine, you know? So I totally get it. Like, I look at it, it's like, it's what it must be like when, like, people who came into Superman with Man of Steel go back and watch the Chris Reeve movie.
Sure.
They're probably like, it's fine. Like, you know?
Yeah. No, I've never seen it. The only thing I can imagine it like is the in the Rocketeer. What's his name?
Oh, with
Neville Sinclair,
who is basically meant to be Errol Flynn. Yeah. Which Rocketeer, by the way, came out this same summer.
Oh yeah.
That one did not perform, unfortunately.
No, sadly. Yeah. I think it's a great movie.
That one, you know, it took a couple of years for the world to kind of come around.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, certainly talking to people online, that you can tell there's generational divides when it comes to Robin Hood.
Yeah. What was before this?
I mean, to my mind, it's the Disney version.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Wait, what's he doing here? By the way, the gold. Is he trying to distract?
He's trying to distract the Celts because they're seeing all the gold coins and they're trying to pocket them.
Okay, that's what I thought they were doing, but
yeah.
I can see. Actually, it's more clear. I think with the caption, I can kind of see. Yeah, this is like a nice little moment too.
I was about to say this is a nice set piece that. I mean, obviously, we have an investment with you know John and Fanny, right? But it's a nice like Robin Hood hero moment.
Yes,
and there are a few of them in the movie. But I was as I was rewatching it, I was really paying heed of that. How the movie gives him these nice moments that really point out, like, oh, he's a hero. Like this is why he's the hero, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's nice too because if we hadn't had that birth scene, we'd be like, oh yeah, his wife. Okay.
Yes.
You know, like that's a bummer. I hope they save her. But here we're like, oh damn, she's got a baby, and we just saw it, and we were all there, and we were all happy about it. You know, it just adds that extra little texture to it.
Yeah, like this bit right here where he swings across. That's great. I mean, it's just I don't know. It just feels.
It is Indiana Jones.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I kind of like having that in the back of my mind now as I watch it. That's interesting.
Yeah, Penn Densham, who wrote this movie, I mean, he went on to he was like showrunner for the Outer Limits, the '90s series.
That's interesting.
Which
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard of it, though, I'm assuming.
I've heard of it. Yeah. I mean, that version, I don't really know.
That was sort of ubiquitous in the '90s. Like, to me, I just associate that with like, syndicated TV in the era.
I had like 5 thoughts. I'm trying to pick which one I want to share. Well, the one with they keep showing the archers with the arrows. I feel like they're in a different location. They're on like some flat grassy plain.
It's got to be, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's cross-cutting.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the stuff up top looks like a soundstage, clearly.
Yeah, but it doesn't bother me. I mean,
no. I mean,
to be fair,
it's not distracting, but yeah.
Yeah.
This thing right here is nice, where they do the fake out of whether you think he's dead or not.
Yeah, it reminds me of Elsa falling in Last Crusade.
Oh yeah, where
falling
she falls
down
into the
like
smoke,
a
right?
plume of smoke. And that reminded me of Raiders, actually, with the medallion in the plane.
That's right.
Which, by the way, Raiders of the Lost Ark would have only been, when they shot this, less than 10 years old.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny how when you look at total tangent, but like I was watching 2001 earlier today, the movie, and then I jumped to 2010, the sequel, and I was realizing like, well, 2001 came out in '68, and 2010 was '84. Mm-hmm. It's only 16 years.
Oh wow!
Right, which like. I mean, that's nothing really when you think about it. That's like 2000. What would that be? Like 2002 to now.
Oh yeah.
Right, it's not that long.
No,
but it
like a Fast and the Furious movie, right? Like one to yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just funny how like when we're kids, like the gaps felt much more pronounced between films.
It's funny with that one too, because the first one does feel like a '60s film, and the other one does feel like an '80s film.
Very much so, yeah. Well, yeah. I think once you put Roy Scheider in it, you're like, it really does kind of drop it into a specific time period.
Yeah. And what was the deal with the pool in their living room? Anyway, Robin Hood.
Another belated sequel that's like really wasn't that long after is like Godfather 2 and 3.
How long was that?
There's another. It was like 16 years.
Oh, okay.
Because it's 74 to 90.
Oh.
And then, another... Sorry, super tangent, sorry. Chinatown.
Oh, what was that? The Two Jakes?
The Two Jakes is the sequel, and the Chinatown, again, it was 16 years. It was from 74 to 90.
Oh,
1990
weird.
was just the year for like belated sequels, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, when I was talking about the pool in the living room, by the way, I want to point out that's from 2010.
That's from 2010.
Because sometimes I'll listen to podcasts and people will reference things I don't understand, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And it drives me crazy when they don't explain themselves.
Yes, that was a reference to 2010 in this Robin Hood Prince of Thieves game. We should take note of all the other movies we've discussed.
I know. Okay, so what do we got here? Marion is being forced to marry...
This is a plot contrivance to set up Act 3. Which is that the sheriff wants to marry Marion.
And they've got the medallion here, so we think that it proves that Robin's dead.
Yes. But spoiler alert, he's very much not.
Mm-hmm. And is there more of an explanation why he wants a child? Didn't that have something to do with the witch? Like she wants...
Yes. So what the directors did, again, I keep calling it directors, the extended cut, because what Kevin Reynolds has said is he was fine with the theatrical cut. He didn't particularly care either way. He was fine, like later on when they came out with the extended edition, he's like, oh, it's nice, but he was fine with what they had. He didn't spend a lot of time, getting worked up about it.
Okay. In hindsight, or at the time was he worked up about it?
I think at the time there may have been disagreements, that were more intrinsic. But I think his thought was once the movie's out, it's out, and just whatever, leave it in the past. That's his thought.
Sure.
He's like, I was fine. Like, it's not like he didn't like the theater cut. He's like, I was fine with it. Mm-hmm. And it's fine. And it's over and done with. Let's move on. So that's why it's very interesting that it's referred to as the extended cut and not the director's cut. I don't know that he had a particular oversight over the extensions that were made. Mm-hmm. But what the main change, really the only substantial change that the extended cut adds, is that the witch Mortiana, that nasty old lady, is revealed to be the sheriff's mother.
Yes.
And I think that that's a stupid thing. I mean, you know what I mean? It's idiotic. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and by the way, when this movie started, I forgot she was in it, and I was like, "Isn't that Tracy Ullman?"
No, she's.
I was like, "Oh no, that's the Men in Tights."
Yes.
Oh, by the way, this shot is so cool. Look at that.
Oh, it's awesome.
There's like a wall of fog behind him. It's sort of like Raiders when he enters Marion's bar, but just the close-up right there where you get the light and him cutting the shadow through it, and then when you get that wide with that wall of smoke and his shadow reflected on it, I was like, I don't think I've ever seen that anywhere else.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, they had to fire up the fog machine and do all kinds of stuff to get that to look as well as it did.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the Arrow thing and things being emulated and then living on and being recreated, but I don't feel like I've ever seen that since or before. It's a badass shot, man.
Good job, Kevin. Kevin's.
Yeah.
Now this here, like we're watching these people being tortured, and it's all played for laughs. Right, and that goes to sort of the weird tonal disconnect anytime the sheriff shows up.
Yeah, it's like the robots in Return of the Jedi.
In Return of the Jedi, yeah. So anyway, the witch, right?
It's fisheye.
Yeah. See, this, if I were to guess, it's trying to convey that there's something off about the sheriff, and so it maybe it pays off more effectively with the reveal about his parentage. Mm-hmm. And what she tells him, she's like, I was like, when you were a boy, I stole a baby from the royal family and I killed it and I replaced you with it. And it's like weird and dark and,
like a lot.
It's just too, yeah, it's like one bridge too far, especially when we're already getting one family, like secret family contrivance. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It just feels too much. It's a bit like, it's like if in one movie you're like, oh, Darth Vader's his father, oh, Leia's his sister, if you did it all at once.
Right. Yeah, that's good
right?
Analogy.
Because doing that in Jedi is just barely, works.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this is, the fact that Duncan ends up getting killed, the servant.
It's sad.
It is sad, right? Because you do form some degree of attachment to him, and I think I like that right there. It says there's no perfect men in this world because that only perfect intentions. I like that. Mm-hmm. That's the type of thing I try to remember so that I can say it to my kids, and hopefully they won't. Like
Dad always said.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been thinking about that. Oh, go ahead.
I did the "Why do you fall?" so you can get back up.
All right. This is we're nearing the holiday season here, so Hallmark's airing all their Christmas movies, and I may have been watching a couple of them, and I feel like every character always has one line where it's like Grandpa always said, and I was like, I don't think anyone in my life has a thing that they always say,
Right.
and then I was like, maybe I should try to start doing a saying and just seeing if people pick up on it. It's like Brian always says.
That's funny.
Why go to Boston Market when we could just go over to Wendy's? Or I don't know, something stupid.
Some weirdly specific thing that just happens to work in exactly the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Why tie your shoes when you could buckle the strap?
I don't know. You'll work it out. You'll get there.
Yeah, it's a work in progress, but I'm going to get there.
So,
by the way, those are real, do you think? Was he really tortured? Was that previous to him?
I just assumed that he was tortured.
I mean, I've got to assume, right? It's not like he put on makeup. I just assumed that the scars were real, but he got himself released before it got too bad. Okay, so that was previous to him being willing. I feel like we're not doing a great job of calling out what's on screen. So,
yes.
Will returning to the camp because he already talked to the sheriff saying that he would put Robin into his hands, leave him into his hands. So now he's returned to the camp, and they are calling him a traitor. and then it's revealed he has scars or cuts all over his chest. So
yes,
we should believe him.
Right. So Will has had like this axe to grind with Robin for the whole movie. We don't know why, and then we now find out the shocking secret of his parentage.
I have a brother.
Yeah, it's literally what it's like. Robin of Locksley, I am your brother. You're my brother.
I have a brother.
Want to have a catch?
Yeah,
brother. Yeah, it's very interesting because, like, Kevin Costner has this sort of delivery style. It doesn't matter what role he's playing, where it's just very like right down the middle. So like here, he's talking to Will. He's like, Will, did I wrong you in some previous life where you have this intolerable hatred of me? Like that level of emotion. It just pretty much that's his emotion.
I gotta say though, it works for me.
That's what's so interesting to me is like there's this. Well, I think just in general, like I don't think Costner gets enough credit for being a good actor, despite the fact that he does things that at least surface level you'd be like, well, that's not good acting.
Yeah, I actually do feel like he's pretty good in this. I mean, we can make fun of a lot of things.
No, I mean, well, this moment right here, like look at his face. I think he's playing the scene really well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Right? But that's the sort of the interesting thing. Like I think I find Kevin Costner as a phenomenon so fascinating. Because I like him in most movies. Mm-hmm. You know? Like, even in bad movies, I like watching him.
Yeah, I agree.
And he's been in a few. You know? I think probably the you know, like Wyatt Earp to me is like one of the worst jobs he's done. I don't think he was able to really save that movie.
Which, by the way, you were talking about how there were multiple Robin Hoods in development, and that's the same sort of thing that happened then with Wyatt Earp movies.
With Wyatt Earp, yeah, and in fact, I mean, the multiple Robin Hoods, most of them did not get made. There was one version that did get made, and it was only released theatrically overseas. It was released, like it aired on TV in the States.
I remember that on Fox.
Yeah, and it starred Patrick Bergin as a very more of a traditional looking Robin Hood, you know? Mm-hmm. And Uma Thurman was in that.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And Jürgen Prochnow. You know Jürgen Prochnow?
I'm not sure I do by name.
He's like if you saw him, you'd probably recognize him.
Yeah.
But that I remember living overseas. There's all like, there's these two Robin Hood movies, and you know the competition. But you realize like stateside, it wasn't even a competition.
No, if I remember right, I remember it being at the video store, like direct to video.
Right.
And being confused because I was like, wow, Robin Hood already came out. What's the deal?
And it's that movie's not bad, the Patrick Bergin one.
Oh, I never saw it.
I mean, it's like kind of whatever, you know? Because I saw it much later, and it's like, well, it's just another, but it's not terrible.
Yeah. Patrick
Bergin is like one of those guys who was real, like he was like on the cusp of breaking out.
Kind of like a Gretchen Mol.
He was like he was Gretchen Mann.
Yeah.
In the early, because he was in,
and I'm not saying that to put her down, by the way. I'm just saying like she kind of popped, and then everyone was like, here we go.
Yeah.
Like, she's going to be everywhere. And then they sort of, and she's done well, like on TV and stuff. She's on Boardwalk Empire.
Well, it's funny because I remember like there was a time where people were saying that about like Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's supposed to be the next big thing. He's nobody now. He's like Academy Award winner and all right, you know. Mm-hmm. But Patrick Bergin was one of those guys, like because he was in
Sleeping with the Enemy or something?
Sleeping with the Enemy, and around the same time he was in Patriot Games, and you know, kind of all these like semi-big movies, and then just kind of nothing really happened.
Yeah.
But now look at this. We're already into the closing part of this film.
Yeah, so there's going to be a public hanging.
A good old-fashioned hanging.
Right before a wedding.
Yeah.
To kick off the wedding.
Hanging in a wedding.
Yeah, okay, so here we go. Here's the horse manure.
So this scene, you're saying...
was supposed to go right before he goes in the church.
So they just cut it and put it at
Moved
the end?
Moved it over here.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
So he's like wearing the same shit like both times? Actually, I mean,
I don't know.
Because the poop on his hands like plays in later, right? Because he's playing because he's got like he sticks his hand in the guy's face.
You're right here, this guy, yeah.
Yeah.
You stink.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just like his go-to. You know, like James Bond has like all his gadgets.
He's like, gotta find me some horse shit.
Yeah, he's like, I've got a plan.
Point me to the poop and get out of the way. Now, I will say that the way this third act is constructed is really effective. Like the escalating tension, it really does nicely play like the ticking clock idea. You know.
And there's a lot going on.
Yes.
Right. There's a lot at play, and then it all unfolds really nicely. And also, I thought you always need like a hiccup in your plan.
Yes.
You know, that's what makes a movie exciting. Like we know what's going to happen. Then what's going to be the hitch that we have to overcome? And I kind of wasn't even thinking of that. I was just like into the plan. And then when it started going haywire, I was like, ooh, this is really good. Like,
yeah.
Everything here feels really a natural unfolding. Like they didn't feel like they had to, it wasn't big enough. I mean, it truly is. There's a hanging. How are we going to stop it? And we've got, the hitch is basically that they have this explosive on stage, and then Christian Slater accidentally gets revealed that he's in the crowd, and so then they tie him up and they can't use the explosive, and I don't know. It's a lot of good stuff going on.
No, I agree with you, and you mentioned scale. I mean, there is economy of scale in this whole sequence. It's something you can get your arms around. And yet it is appropriate to the story that's being told.
Yeah, and it doesn't involve you need some sort of crazy device or the aid of CGI. Like it basically is, these people are going to hang. How do we stop it? It's like, well, let's knock it over. Like I thought that was such a clever, simple thing, but you're like, hurry, because we know they're going to die. And I love that, the idea of how do we knock this thing over.
I mean, just by way of comparison, the 2010, the Ridley Scott Robin Hood, culminates in this crazy like battle on the shores of England with like the French, and there's like this big army and whatever the hell. It's like it turns into Kingdom of Heaven, And that drove me bananas watching that, because I'm like, what am I watching here? What makes this a uniquely Robin Hood story?
Yeah, that's a good. But they probably wouldn't feel like something like this is big enough. And I think that with Back to the Future, I mean, how many times can we bring that movie up? But I watched it with someone recently who had never seen it before. And that ending, I mean, it really is just a guy hanging from a clock trying to connect something that won't reach.
Right.
And a car that won't start, and then it starts. But it's, for someone who had never seen it, they were on the edge of their seat. And at one point, they actually leaned over to me and said, "Are you nervous?" Because they were, and I was like, every time. But because it's like, if you're in it, it doesn't matter how big it is. So
I mean, that's really telling, right? Because you have to make the stakes personal to your protagonist, and when you do that, then the scale doesn't really matter. You scale it to his or her specific concerns.
Yeah.
I mean, here I think it what works is, obviously we're about to see these characters get hanged, but we followed the character Wolf, who's he's Little John's son for the whole movie, so he, like, all the other people that are going to be hanged are sort of faceless to us. But he's somebody who he becomes the focal point, and obviously reflexively we're like, he's just a kid, and that's horrible, the idea of hanging a kid.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I need to call this moment out, because I told our friend Sean Coyle that we were going to be doing this, and he said, you know what I remember about that movie? There's this awful moment. Did he tell you this?
Yes.
Where Christian Slater's in the crowd. He's like, hey, kid, hey, over here. Oh, like, he just like keeps putting his face in the camera, and you're like, why would he do that? It's just.
I took it to mean him being like, hey,
everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, that's what I took it as.
But it's one of those things. The execution of it is like a little funny. I think it goes back into, I don't know if it's a fisheye, but it's really close on his face.
Yeah, a little too close, yeah.
So, Sean, I see you.
There you go. Look at that.
See, we're going to do that.
So the whole thing with Marion, like, she's essentially powerless to become the sheriff's bride, right? And I suppose that's sort of like temporally correct in that a woman in that situation in that era probably would have been similarly, had no say in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That I was like, sure. Like that's the story, but it's more what happens later. I think.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. But the other thing for me is that the problem also is that you've set her up as a,
someone who would put up with that,
as an assertive, sort of self-possessed woman. So it feels like they sort of forgot what to do with her. Yeah,
because we'll get there, but I felt like she doesn't put up as much of a fight as you would imagine
as you would hope, right?
Yeah.
Now this bit here is so nasty. Right here, look at this. It just drools on him.
Drools. He's so talking. Ugh.
Yeah. You think that was an accident?
It looks like one,
right?
Yeah.
I wonder if Christian Slater's like, they call cut. He's like, I want him fired. Like,
yeah.
It's like, what was that? Like, he's like, did you drool in my hair?
Why is everyone looking at me? There's drool in my hair, isn't there?
There's drool in my hair, isn't there?
This kind of shocked me when they're like, hang the kid. And I was like, okay, what are they going to do? And then the kid hangs.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap.
I think it really works. And I think, right here, like, okay, you just see him fall. Oof. And then, the way you see Little John just running at it, I think it really works.
Totally.
He's like, my boy. It's great. And I think,
look at Robin.
Look at this. The escalate. Like, we know Robin Hood wants to do something. We don't know what he's going to do, but the way it plays off great,
I like that he doesn't cut the rope with the first arrow.
Yes.
And this when he licks the arrow, it's like, yeah.
That's a cool. Look at that. And then there's a shot coming up which is like trailer bait, It's right here when look at that.
Yeah. The low angle push in on Robin, and then she yells, Robin.
Oh, that's great. It's like you should be jazzed by this point. Now, this right here, look at that with the explosion behind him, and he's standing there.
That is cool. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm getting jazzed just watching this on
Me too. I'm kind of getting into this. By the way, I do this thing. I didn't even realize it, but sometimes when I'm in a room with a group of people and I'm about to write something down, I lick my pen and then I write it down. I don't really do it, but I mime like I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I had no idea this is where I got that from.
Is that right?
I saw this today. I go, that's why I do that.
Oh, man.
Because to me, I'm like gearing up, and I know it looks ridiculous, and I'm trying to make people laugh.
That's really funny.
And I was like, oh, I got it from this.
That is really funny.
Yeah.
So this coming up right here, I love this, where this dignitary starts yelling at the sheriff, and he's just like, "Shut up, you twit!
You twit!"
So funny.
Yeah, and then now we got all these people being hanged, and they're trying to hold them up. Like, what the hell are they gonna do?
Well, that's where your go-to muscle man comes in.
Yep. Now, by the way, so this is like the shot of the movie here, where we got the flame behind.
Yeah.
And he's got the flaming arrow, slow motion. This is so rad.
There. Yeah, right. Look at that. Oh, that is just sweet.
And by the way, I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget. The sound design is so awesome in this point. The score, which has been going crazy, stops. Like, all you hear is sound, and then it just becomes like a whoop. And then when the guy hits the ground, it's like a thud.
Yeah.
It's so, like, pumps you up. Rickman. What's going on?
You can see why Alan Rickman never stopped working.
Oh, yeah.
Why he remained forever in demand, because it's just, he brings it. Yeah, that's right here. Shut up!
I thought he was going to throw him over the edge.
Yeah, that's what I thought, too. That's like, well, when you think about it, like Rickman and Patrick McGoohan in Braveheart.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
They're kind of doing the same thing.
I didn't even think about that, but you're right.
They're kind of playing at this, like, highly theatrical level.
Mm-hmm.
But they're doing the same thing. Okay, this right here. This is Azim's speech.
Yeah, this is great.
Dude, I remember just being a kid and being so jazzed by it.
He's on the wall here rallying the English.
He's like, you pansies running away.
Yeah. You want to be free? You fight.
I remember being, let's see, this came out in 91, right? So I was, 11 going on 12, and good friend of mine, his name was Talal. He loved the movie just like I did. And like at gym class or recess, we'd play Robin Hood. He's like, I want to be Robin Hood, and I'd be like, I want to be Azim,
That's great. It's perfect.
And I was thinking, he actually he passed away in a car accident about 10 years ago.
Oh no.
Yeah, I reconnected with him on Facebook about a year before he passed away, and then very suddenly I found out about that. But every time I watch this movie, I think of him.
Wow, well that's nice, and it's it's nice too that Azim isn't just like some sort of guide, right? Who just dispenses wisdom, right?
Yes.
Like he does, but he's also wait, whoa, was that a crew member in the window of that building?
If it was, I missed it.
Dude, I'm writing it down. 212. That I think a guy in modern clothes looked out the window and went, "Oh," and then like ducked away. I'm not kidding, like ducked away.
That's hilarious. So this coming up right here, Christian Slater drops the F-bomb.
Yeah, I didn't remember that.
Yeah, well, that's your one. You get one.
Yeah, right.
But apparently he just improv'd that on the day, and they just thought it was funny, so they kept it in.
That's funny. That's probably one of those things where I just heard like the intonation as a kid, and in the theater laughed, and I was like, I had no idea what he just said. But that's kind of cool too, the catapult thing. Like they totally sell that.
I remember that sequence being in the video, the music video.
Oh yeah.
I just like the whole idea of music videos for songs from movies just feels so quaint now.
Yeah, but it was awesome then because you got to see the movie again.
Exactly, you got to see all the clips, right?
Yeah,
like I remember the Kiss from the Rose video.
Yeah, Batman Forever.
Batman Forever, yeah. You couldn't escape that shit.
Oh no, that was a huge album.
Yeah, but this was like that. I mean the song was I said this earlier. Like how many first dances.
You're totally
for
right.
weddings were just like, I mean, if you were a wedding DJ or a wedding videographer, you were probably like tossing cookies in your mouth every time the song came on because you got sick of hearing it.
Oh, I was like, I thought you meant because it was so easy, like you knew how to win the room over, so you just sat back and tossed like chewy Chips Ahoy in your mouth.
Oh no, I meant literally like throwing up in your mouth.
And then I got it. See, this is great here. This is when he sees the statue.
The thing where, this right here.
Watch his reaction. And it just keeps going. It's so perfect.
That's hilarious. No, but the thing where the sheriff is telling the witch, like, for once in my life, we're going to do it. Like, you realize with the added context of she's revealed to him that she's his mother.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Right. So there's that extra piece of context, which isn't essential.
No.
But it's just, it's a little bit of texture.
Yeah.
Well, so this here, now this gets to what we were talking about, is so bizarre. Like it's easy.
Gross.
It is, right? And the thought that I had is like, as we're watching in 2018, we're like, well, this is just like what the hell, because essentially the sheriff is trying to hurry up and get married so he can have sex with Marion,
like in the room right now with the witch.
So basically he's like forcing her legs open to get on top of her, right? And again, we look at it in 2018, like you said, it's gross, right?
Yeah, but
was it not gross in 1991?
I would hope so, but obviously it was in a movie and people didn't. It wasn't an uproar.
I mean, it's
what
almost,
I mean? Like,
it's almost played for laughs as he's trying to rape her.
Yes. And it's hard to imagine.
Right.
I mean, not even just 2018. Like, I would hope at least the past more years than that would have seemed uncomfortable. So I just, at what point was that ever, a thing you could play for laughs?
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing, like, he's on top of her. She's like, no. I mean, that's not funny. It's not even
and they're
remotely.
doing gags here. The witch just handed her a pillow.
I can't do this with all that racket, and it's weird,
Yeah.
I mean, she's telling the priest, like, how could you, preside over this?
And you kind of hope he would have a moment, but he doesn't.
You're right.
But it's a satisfying Friar Tuck moment then.
There is a satisfying moment relating to him, so that's something. So she's got, so the witch has this prophecy she fears that she's going to be killed by a painted man.
Oh, I forgot that's why she's doing this. I thought she was just fooling him. Because then she grabs him again. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. She at the beginning, I forgot she had that.
And then he just messes her up. Look at that. That's what happens.
Look at it. We're going fisheye crazy in this
There's
movie.
a lot of fisheye, and it's super unnerving when we go full on her.
I felt like I remembered her falling out the window. Does she?
She does later. Yeah, because there's like a fake out with her because we think she's dead, but she's not.
Oh, yeah. Reminds me of Edward Scissorhands, too. I think that's what I was thinking of, that sort of POV shot where the antagonist is being forced backwards through a window.
Yes.
That is badass. That's
it really is.
Flying through the window.
That was one thing I was noticing earlier is like when he shoots the arrow that severs the rope, you can see the matte lines around the arrow and sort of see like how they created that effect.
I just noticed it on this viewing.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Now we get our fight, but he's got what's the deal with the sword? Is that his dad's sword?
It's his dad's sword.
Yeah.
Which just feels like such a like Batman versus Joker kind of thing. Like you killed me, but I made you first, or like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, Alan Rickman, he made a choice, and I think it says something about how he saw the material, which was in order to make this work, I need to play it to the hilt. The fact that he turned the role down twice and then finally he agreed to do it by under the condition that he had carte blanche to shape the character. Don't direct me, basically.
Yeah. I wonder if being so close, when you said the whole 89 Batman template, if it was like, let me do the Nicholson thing.
Yes.
Like, let me just kind of do that and trust me.
I think another factor, I'm sure, is like this being so soon after Hans Gruber. He's like, well, I don't feel like doing that again.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Because Gruber is like he's like the picture of reserve, right? He doesn't
lose his cool, yeah.
At all, It's very interesting. You have these shots like this where a lot of like towards the camera, looking almost directly at the like it's
throws you off balance. It's uncomfortable.
Does. Yeah. So like we said here, so we've got Friar Tuck essentially meting out justice to the priest there, and shoving him to his death.
Yeah.
He loads him down with coins and then pushes him out the window.
Which I was surprised. I thought he was going to do the sort of the Batman thing, like where I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you. I was like, oh no, he just kills him.
He has a very elastic definition of morality.
Right.
There's a funny bit where they're so we got Robin and the sheriff are fighting, and like at one point the sheriff just slices the top of the sword off, so all he has left is the hilt.
Yeah.
It's very funny. I mean, this fight scene here, I think just the whole way it's staged, it feels very cramped.
Yeah.
So there's just they're in this very enclosed space, and there's just a bunch of wood and stuff, and it feels it doesn't feel choreographed.
Yeah.
Like but it feels choreographed to look unchoreographed, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And cramped. That's a good way of putting it, because anytime they swing their sword, they're hitting something.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I'm really excited to go see if that was a crew member in that window. And then we got the bad guy waiting too long,
of course,
to drive the sword through the hero, and then he gets killed with the knife he gifted to Marion.
See that?
Yeah, I feel like we were talking about it earlier. Aside from the uncomfortable nature of Marion in the third act, I think I also just having
Brian,
her sort of watch from the sidelines.
Real quick, pause.
Yeah.
So I just Googled movie mistakes, and it says when they're moving the catapult, if you look above Robin and Azim, you can see a crew member in the window above them. He's wearing all black, but you can tell he's trying to get out of the shot.
Yes! Oh! Maybe that'll be the still we'll use for this post.
Oh my gosh, now you have to, right? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway,
no,
sorry,
she's sort of like on the sidelines, like kind of doing the shadow boxing, like, ooh, get him. And
Yes.
you're like, I wish she was like doing something. She feels like she would have.
almost like the final blow should have been her.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, it's hers to give.
But that feels like a note that you would have gotten today, like without question.
Yeah. But they do give Fanny a nice moment, right? Where she wants to be included in the plan and John kind of discounts her and Robin's like, nah, you'll go here and you can do this.
Yeah. This is great. Look at that.
Boom. Oh, this is what I remembered, yeah.
Yeah, she comes back and then he kills and then Azim has fulfilled his vow. Look at that. He can get his ass back to the east. So he keeps calling him Sadiq, right? And in Arabic that means friend.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That never even gets explained. I kind of like that touch.
Yeah, I like that they don't even say it. Yeah.
It's a nice sweeping shot there. Them coming together in an embrace.
And then we just cut to like the wedding, basically. I would die for you. That's like in the song, isn't it? That
yeah.
Some of the lyrics.
Walk the way, I die for you.
See, so again, like I was saying earlier, it's like this is the end of the story. Like there's no Robin Hood anymore. He doesn't need to be Robin Hood.
Yeah.
And we're just so conditioned now. And I had that thought at the end of this Taron Egerton version where it basically sets you up by being like, come back next time for like the real beginning of the story. It's like, well, what the hell did we just sit through for 2 hours?
That feels like last 10 years or 15 years where they're like, the thing you really wanted to see coming up next.
Yeah. And the Ridley Scott one does the same shit.
Yeah.
Oh, so we should mention this massive cameo here.
Yeah, who is this?
His name is Sean Connery. So Sean Connery got $250,000 for like a day's work. Basically, he just showed up, put on a little thing, and then took off. Which is good work if you can get it.
Yeah.
But for me when I watched this, it was a surprise. But I guess at the time it had gotten leaked, like it wasn't even pre-internet.
Wow.
Everybody knew about it. Which is kind of a shame because I feel like if you're watching, it would be a nice surprise if you're watching the movie.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I was too young, but
in Robin Hood Men in Tights, it's Patrick Stewart as King Richard.
Yeah, for a split second, I was thinking that. I get the beats confused a little bit between those two movies. But, I mean, Patrick Stewart wouldn't be a bad one.
Yeah, like in the serious version, right?
Yeah.
Either way, it would work. So here we are, the end of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Man, I am glad that we did this because it got me to revisit this movie, and it really had been a long time, and I really enjoyed this.
This is a fun flick,
Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it. It's a fun flick.
It really is. It's. I don't think it's a classic, modern or otherwise.
No,
but I think that certainly for people of a specific vintage, it'll hold a special place.
Yes, definitely.
That's for sure. Like if you were a kid in the 80s and 90s, then you view this movie differently than anyone earlier or later can.
Yes,
right?
Agreed.
But that being said, I think that it is in its own way sort of representative of a kind of filmmaking that's we don't see these days. Mm-hmm. And I think there's value in being able to revisit something like this and say, oh well, it is old. It is old fashioned in its own way, even though at the time it was not. It was deemed as being too sort of edgelord.
Well, no, but yeah, I think you're right. I didn't think of it that way, but it's the last of an era. Like things would change forever.
Yeah.
After this movie, so it's kind of a nice little bookend to that. Stuart Baird, project consultant. So he must be the guy they brought into the editing room.
Yeah, that was my thought. So for those of you who don't know, Stuart Baird is well known as being like a edit doctor.
Yeah. All the way through like Rogue One. Didn't he go into that one too?
Yes, he did, yeah.
Yeah, so.
He's also a director, but I think he's more known for being a good editor.
Yeah.
But here we are. So we're at the end of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Thank you, Brian, for joining me on this mystical journey.
Yeah, same. This was a blast.
A lot of fun, and I would say, folks, in lieu of running out and watching the new Robin Hood, get on Netflix and watch Prince of Thieves. I think you'll find that more fulfilling.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, good to know.
But you can get more of my thoughts on the new Robin Hood when we record our next episode of the regular movie film podcast show, which is coming up in just a few short days. And we will also be back soon with our next commentary track. I'm not going to tell you what that is, but you'll know soon enough. Oh, you'll know. It's a coming. But as we sign off this episode, please do write to us at moviefilmpodcast@gmail.com, or you can message us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/moviefilmpodcast, and let us know what movies you would like to have be our commentaries. Like I said, this one, honestly, it came down to Tom McClellan just being very persistent and us saying, hey, let's watch that.
Yeah. Yeah, and Sharon. Got to call it Sharon.
And Sharon, too. So we hope Tom and Sharon enjoyed this, but we hope everyone else listening, we hope the downloads for this will not be 2.
Yeah.
Right? But any feedback, like I said, send that way. Also, as always, please go to iTunes and leave a review. Leave a star rating. Every little bit helps. You can find our show at all manner of places. You can also find me at my website, ZackysCorner.com. That's ZAKIS Corner. That's also my Twitter. That's also my Instagram. And I would love to hear from you. Brian, anywhere you want to let people know to seek you out?
Yeah, well, season 2 of Puppy Dog Pals is currently running on Disney and Disney Junior, and I was involved with that, and along with a lot of other great people. So I say check it out, especially if you have young kids or you love puppy dogs being silly.
Well, there we go. And with that, I will wrap up this commentary track on behalf of my partner, Brian Hall. My name is Zaki Hassan, and this has been a lot of fun. All right.
Hood. Wow, I got nothing, man. It's late.
Hood bye, everybody.
Wait a minute. The songs here at the end?
Yes.
There's one by Jeff Lynne of ELO.
Yeah, Wild Times. I remember that.
What? When's that?
It's on the album.
Oh, so it's not in the film.
There's like music from it in the movie, but I couldn't tell you where.
Huh. Fascinating. I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah, but it is for sure on the album. I remember that.
Oh, wow.
And there you go. Well, with that, I'll let Brian go start Googling stuff about this movie, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks, everybody, for listening.